now until we get through half the show.
Chill for the moment.
We'll see what happens.
I gotta get
Everybody breathe, except for Jeff.
Shut the fuck up, Jeff.
You tell everyone how much you hate Cox Gigablast later. Although that's now a thing. Is Cox
that is gotten so goddamn funny.
That's
funnier than
this
show.
The Cox.
Yeah.
Last week was one of the best ones we've had. Realistically, I don't know.
I think
Was it that we're all just punchy? It's been too long.
Wait for it.
Yeah. And also,
Jeff's,
I think
just playing the music though.
We've got a good rhythm.
We can wait. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. We've got a good rhythm, and it's kind of like when you work out and you take a week off and you come back and you're really strong.
Oh, I'm like such the opposite. I take a week off. I like feel like I'm going to die like 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Why am I so weak?
Why do I have a desk job?
All right.
I have a
Rewinding.
To start the damn show. Yeah.
Get the volume up. Welcome to Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Lemma Champ or Lucky Track Dog League you run, SCCR NASA. We won't discriminate as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussion, tips, tricks, news and notes in the world of amateur endurance racing, and whether it's on the spot, hella sweet, we're lucky enough and Chrissy gives us just a tip. We're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental.
Oh.
And Mental says.
Who's saying?
Sorry, Mental's typing up race results. There we go. And it's the end of the month. I should know better. And we are Everyone Racers. Thanks in coming back and listening to another barchetta episode of our podcast. It's episode number 166. The Ferrari.
It was bruschetta.
Isn't that like some bread with some tomatoes and stuff on it?
Hell yeah,
that's what I said.
That would be BR, not BAR.
Oh, okay, got it. Sorry, bruschetta, got it. No tomatoes on the Ferrari. Yeah, the owner will probably be upset if you put tomatoes on it.
A little if you put, but it's with their Italian tomatoes. The Ferrari 166 was limited to just 32 examples, only 25 of which were giving the barchetta designation.
I'll finish this for Mental because he just froze up. Hey, if you're not driving a car, don't forget your E1R bingo card.
Nope.
Yes.
Now we're going to get fast Mental when he comes back.
Yep. No, we're going to start a GoFundMe for Mental's internet. I don't know what else
I'm ready.
Can do. But
right in the middle of my
and now we get Mental cursing, which is even better. So how about the hey, you're back. That's
you're here.
Oh, you had such a good run. You have such a good run. Oh, now you're so mad. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's try to figure out what we're working on. We'll give Mental's internet a chance to catch up. It's buffering. So, Jeff, what are you working on? Because I can't ask Chrissy because I know.
Okay. I was working. We had I had a weekend off of automotive work, and I did the great leaf purge at my house. So we have a
lot of trees.
We have a lot of trees. We have a pool. So, and I don't like to pick up the leaves, so I just wait till they all fall, and then I just do it once.
Who likes to rake leaves?
Nobody likes to rake leaves.
Exactly, right.
It's a really good idea to just stop and wait for all of them, because we didn't do that. I disagree. We did them in two different stages, but go.
Back when I lived up in North Jersey, and I lived in the forest, you couldn't.
Oh my God!
You couldn't do it just once, or else, literally, you couldn't get through it. It was like
when I lived in Georgia, it was the same deal, and it seemed like
yes, it was.
It seemed like basically from October until March, I would be burning leaves every weekend, just piles and piles and piles of leaves. Here I have like one tree, and all I have to do is vacuum those out of the pool, so I'm okay.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at, because we've lost a lot of trees, so it's a lot less than it used to be.
Because you had some storms.
But I also had to
that's why there's roof leaks.
Yeah, take the pool stuff away and get the pool pump working. And so remember when my son was getting shocked and we had the electricians at the house?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I think they unhooked the wire that goes to my pool.
Oh, so the one that went over the door frame was your pool pump.
I'm not sure.
That's
but
a
all
good
of a
way
sudden,
to wire it.
the outlet at the pool no longer works. So I don't know.
So now you have an extension cord?
Yeah, I have an extension cord going across my yard, which is going to be great. But I have to figure it out. But it's got a GFI on it, and there's just no electricity in it at all. Like you push and they just don't do anything. So I like all my breakers. So I hate tracing stuff. But anyway, yeah, that and floors. I am taking advantage of some less time at work, and I am furiously charging towards the light at the end of the tunnel, which is only
you can do it.
It's only going to lead to the next project, which is like, oh, now we can paint, and now we can do all of the trim molding, and now we can do all the other stuff. So never ending. We are getting a brand new wooden railing, so that's going to be an exciting new project.
Oh, we saw the I forgot about the OSHA violations that you were exhibiting. Your wife texted me.
I heard she was texting you.
I said,
take a picture. And I said, send it to me. She says, I'm sending it to Chrissy.
So did you or did you not use an angle grinder inside of the house?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
I did. Not only did I use the angle grinder to cut wrought iron like hand railing, like a big one, like a 4 foot by 8 foot hand railing.
Solid piece of rail.
A solid piece of rail. But
did
like
you clear all of the
I did not clear anything.
Did you have the guards on it?
I did. I started with
doesn't matter if the flames or the sparks are flying everywhere.
Well, they're gonna. Well, you can at least throw them into the hallway as
it's
opposed
true.
to into
it didn't.
You can spin it so it goes to the things you don't mind burning. I did actually. So I started with the Sawzall, and it was not gonna get through with any timeliness. So I said, I don't have time.
How old is that blade on your Sawzall?
It was a bit old, but I mean, I could have gotten a new blade. But if I walk to get the new blade, I might as well pick up the angle grinder.
Well, it's your favorite tool.
It is. This is the best tool in the shop.
Let's be honest. Like if Jeff can find a way to
where is this blade, Jeff?
In this garage, but he has to find it. No, he knows where the angle grinder is.
Absolutely. Unless you cut that railing down in a minute, which you didn't because it was time for your wife to take a picture and send it to Chrissy.
That's what the angle grinder is.
Chrissy, do you have the
picture?
He
knows what the angle grinder is.
Yeah,
I feel like we should hold this up to the camera for the YouTube.
Totes, hold on.
My wife actually didn't send it to me. She said she was going to, and then she didn't.
She sends a video. We were coming back from somewhere, and oh yeah, there we go. Yep, ankle grinding in the front.
I said
hallway.
This might be an OSHA violation. She's like, no problem. Josh already called OSHA.
He was a bit upset. I was wearing my glasses and probably gloves. I don't know.
You win.
So was he? Because he needs to wear them being anywhere near you.
Was there a fire extinguisher anywhere
in the kitchen?
I mean, yes, they're somewhere.
Farther away than the blade for the Sawzall, probably.
No, not that bad. No.
It was only shooting at the drywall in the hallway, which now has marks in it and has to repaint the hallway, but whatever.
Don't worry. Josh is already calling. He's concerned about his workplace being unsafe.
He was so upset. He's like, you started a fire! Like, don't worry, I do this all the time.
He knows.
Usually you hold it with your feet. This is totally
true. It's true. Yeah.
Josh knows you do.
Yeah.
That's his concern.
Chrissy, why don't you tell us what you set fire to all weekend?
Nothing.
We didn't set fire to anything, but
Chris.
I spent more time in Z wiring hell. I have all but 6 wires now moved from the front cross member to the firewall, which is fun. Most of them are back there, which is okay. We also went and helped some good friends of ours with their house project. We haven't seen them in months. They've been keeping a good quarantine, so we said, all right, let's go help them because really we want to see them, and we can't go anywhere right now, so we'll stay at their house and work on their house with them because it's not a nice thing to do for friends of yours that can't do any of that stuff, or like don't know how but take direction well. Having some adult supervision really matters. So we installed 15 recessed light cans, and I swam through some insulation in the process of doing so.
Was this in drywall or in like drop ceiling? What was it?
It's drywall. In drywall, but it's a ranch house drywall, but it's actually quite well insulated. They had a lot of blown-in insulation done.
Did we mention it's a ranch? So that helps a lot. Oh, sorry. Good.
Yes, ranch is great because you don't have to fish the wires. Like you don't have to drill holes through all of the joists across. You just run the wires. But still, like with the HVAC system is also.
Oh, that's a nice setup.
Yeah. So the HVAC system is also in the attic. So I'm crawling over the flexible pipes in the attic to do this.
I've done that.
And then
usually because I'm searching for a burning wire or a leak. So
yeah, see, I'm not used to having HVAC in the attic. My attic is clear and open and nice. But anyway, so especially to get to the light fixtures that were near the gable end, like basically you face plant into the insulation,
yep, been there,
and swim in it to open up a hole to get to where you've already drilled. Did you at least put a board
down, like so you didn't have to like over the?
Not really, because once you're kind of down and lying on the ducts, you're fine. But I did buy a wonderful tool, and if any of you who are installing recessed lighting, buy the whole kit, the whole saw,
the whole
kit,
cutter, yeah.
But that comes with a plastic dish, which basically, you know the thing you put over your food in the microwave so it doesn't spatter everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it has a hole in the middle for this hole saw that has adjustable tines, and you put that against the ceiling and you drill the hole, and all the dust just
like
stays
it collects
in
the dust.
The dish. Yeah,
that's smart. I like that.
It's amazing. It was worth every penny of the $28 that I spent for it, and I'm happy about it, especially when it's cutting 15 holes in the ceiling. Anyway, we also did some painting.
Yeah. So we went from tennis ball green and dark brown. This is what we started with, and it's
just like I painted my son's room.
That's my son's color, right? Tennis ball green.
But this is what a 6-year-old girl's room started as. So it's
mine
really
was an 8-year-old boy. So
dark trim.
Josh's trim is white.
Yep, and we finished it up with
to a lovely mauve with white trim.
Oh, so, I like that.
But it was a lot of
the trim that had to be hard to do.
Oh, it was all of it. So we
also repainted the ceiling because there were a number of nail pops in the ceiling, so we had to put the nails back in, repair the pops, sand it, prime it, sand it, second coat, sand it again, prime it, sand it again, then you put the ceiling paint on. Here's another top tip for ceiling paint. Glidden makes a great paint for ceilings that goes on as a light pink and dries white.
I have you know where it goes.
So
you know when
nice.
It's done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we spent so I'll just chime in here because I was there too. So we I helped with a lot of the painting, but I'm also kind of a pro at painting stilts. So we have painting stilts, me on said painting stilts. So quick story because we've got time. I was once the Mother Ginger in the Nutcracker. So that's the lady who's usually played as a man on stilts that has kids under their dress. If you're not Nutcracker fans, fine. That's kind of weird. Sorry.
You can Google it.
Anyway, so I was on painting stilts. My parents bought painting stilts. When I did this, I did it a couple times. And so I really learned how to use them pretty well, and they're pretty easy. But I did.
How old were you when your parents bought you painting stilts?
13, 14.
Quality parents.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I mean, they're useful things. You just buy them because they're useful, and then you use them for dance school, and then you just give them back when they're going to paint.
We always when I worked drywall, we had those. Drywall stilts. They're literally the same thing, though.
Sure. Yes.
Because they pivot and move like shoes.
Like
it's
absolutely.
Not just a pole. There's two, and they'll move.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's a very natural walk.
They're awesome. You just have to get used to them, and they kill your quads your calves if you don't use them very often at all. So my legs are just, mush by Monday.
So I when I have to paint or sand a ceiling, I have a $5 stick.
Sure. But if you're next to it, especially with ceiling paint and the nap of the roller that we were using is pretty heavy, it's easier to do everything when you're
I'm sure it's easier. I just
especially if you're trying to do cut-in work or precision work, or you're trying to tap in.
Precision is not my game.
No way.
My sawzall blade is like 5 minutes away. Grab the grinder.
And that is
yes.
The grinder probably only has how much on its left. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we did this weekend. So I spent a lot. We both switched off. We had to do that whole, as you saw, if you're on YouTube, the whole. It's like big open space. So it's the kitchen. To a living space or a dining space to a hallway. So it was a lot of ceiling to paint after it was drywalled and fixed. So it was a lot of work, but we got
it's
it
not all done. Because also,
No,
as
mostly
usual,
done.
when you remove things in a house that is more than 2 years old, you find the sins of the owner's past.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when
a lot of that.
So many,
poor house,
so
like,
many.
This house had a four bar fluorescent fixture in the kitchen. That was the only light in the kitchen. And the only light in the dining room was one bulb on the bottom of the ceiling fan. So the fact that we put 7 in the kitchen, 6 in the dining area, and 2 down the hallway, and the hallway had like one like shitty ass globe light, that gives you an idea of the change. But when we dropped the big ass fluorescent ceiling fixture, which by the way was held into the drywall only with 2 screws. Yep. Anyway,
are light.
Well, this one had a trim ring around it of wood, so it was extra heavy. So anyway, beyond that,
And they weren't even long screws. They were just kind of like, and they were into the just right into.
I'm
the
amazed
drywall.
it lasted as long as it did. And then it had another area right next to it that had been a poor previous repair that was mostly covered by the fluorescent light. So more than we expected, but hey, that's how life goes. The rest of the weekend, though, we did painting. We did yard work. We did a lot of today. Hey, I took a half day because I have 6 days left to use this year.
I had off
so
today,
I got to use them.
We did it.
And we had 3 cars detailed this week because detailing is one of those things that I can do very well. Chrissy is great at it too, but the checkbook is the best tool when the local place does the entire exterior for $75.
That's a great price.
We say, yes, please.
They do a
Thank you.
great job and they love it. And they're like, of course, when we bring the NSX, the guy was like, I've never seen one of these. He's like,
oh man,
I drove it into the garage and it's amazing.
That's the reaction you want because you know that person is going to take their time.
Very
well,
good.
and that's why I tip them
my
too.
gosh.
Because if you tip them, they know, oh, okay, I'll probably get a tip for the next car because we go a car a day. Every day we put another car. And so by the time the third day comes in, the Suburban rolls in. But I say, I don't really care how it looks. I just want to protect it for the winter. Thing looked great. So anyway, it's absolutely worth the time to let the checkbook pay for that one.
I'm excited. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off if you're not done.
No, I was about to say, Mental, what are you working on? Because I don't think we missed.
I'm reading Mental's notes because we have notes and we can see what each other are about to say. I have no idea what the hell Mental's about to say.
Not a clue.
No.
So you guys, I told you about my Terriax, my new ATV, my side by side.
Oh, that's what that is.
Oh,
that side by side that you quasi stole. Got it. Okay.
I did not hear this story. I saw the pictures on the Fastagrams and I went, where the hell did Mental get that? I need to hear from the beginning.
See, I haven't seen the pictures, but I heard the story of basically this thing fell off the back of a truck. So
it was donated to the security forces at Nellis Air Force Base by a local celebrity. He actually donated a bunch of them. And this particular one got stuck in reverse, which is a common problem with that generation of Kawasaki Terriax, which is a side-by-side UTV, little mini truck kind of a thing. And because it was donated, they cannot dispose of it through the normal government market, which is the Defense Reutilization and Marketing Office. Go to DRMO, DRMO, drmo.com, and you can buy like all kinds of surplus military stuff. But to get it there, it has to be recognized as being owned by the military.
Yeah, it has to have like a military 9-digit part number and blah, blah, blah.
So it's broken. And they were getting rid of a bunch of other stuff. The gloves that you guys got.
Gloves, love the gloves.
Those fell off the back of a truck too. They're wonderful.
and the guy's like, I really need this thing to go away. And I'm like, I can absolutely help you with that. So there is a video coming. I have a video of me going and getting it and unloading it. And initially I thought it was stuck in reverse because a bolt had fallen out of the shifter. It has a conventional motorcycle shifter, but it just has a high and low gear and a reverse gear that go through a scooter V-belt style transmission, or rather a final drive. And I just thought it wasn't coming out of reverse. So I bolted that up, and lo and behold, and I could get it to go into neutral. The ignition had been cannibalized for another one. And I tried with the $12 ignition from O'Reilly's to try and go through there, and I could get it to crank, but it wouldn't catch. Some research found out that there is a resistor in the factory ignition to keep it from getting stolen. So you have to use the factory ignition. So I bit the bullet, ordered a used one on eBay, fired right up. And
I'm so
Great
excited.
success. Very
Yes.
nice.
And I go to put it in drive, nothing happens. So
Aw.
Transmission?
I'm like,
Jeff, trombone, Jeff, trombone.
Oh, sorry.
no. Don't pick it up and don't play it. No. The sad
trombone.
trombone.
Why is that trombone is
Take a moment. I'll get it back together.
So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to fiddle with the Toyota truck for a while. And then I'm using the reverse that is fully capable of getting into to pull the Toyota truck in. And as I'm fiddling with it, it almost catches into gear. So rather than using the shifter lever, I reach over and I jam it in gear with my hand and I get it to move forward. I'm like, oh, well, the shifter's just completely out of adjustment. This will be great. So I go and I adjust the shifter and I manage to actually get it to take a gear, and I start driving it down the street, and it is like someone dumped a bag of gravel into that final drive. It is just,
Oh no.
and then it's throwing itself out of gear. And I'm like, all right, so I'm going to have to take apart the final drive, probably spend a little bit of money, but considering what I got into it, I totally don't care. So that
Do you have
was-
like body panels or
I would-
anything for this thing? Because
Yes, no, it's a complete vehicle except for the cannibalized. No, it's got seats. I took the belts because the belts it has a 4-point harness. They were 4 years expired and had been sitting in the Nevada sun for 10 years, so they're useless.
I'm sure they're fine.
And I'm gonna have the seats recovered because I live in Las Vegas and there's lots of Hispanic craftsmen who'll do an awesome job. And I'm going for a zebra print because we're calling it the Party Rex. It's going to match all of the Sorry for Party camouflage.
Sorry for 3-pedal party.
Not sorry for attention whoring.
Yeah.
Sorry for ran with parked, whatever we are out here. So it's getting the stereo and neon lights and the whole nine yards. So that was so it will actually drive forward. So all I've got to do is figure out what's going on with this final drive. But to
Now I
get
can
the
do
final
triumphant trombone.
to get the
That
final
sounds
drive,
like-
I've got to pull the gas tank and then the case out. So
That's only slightly better than sad trombone. So
it
That's
really is.
faster.
So when you
Sad
guys
trombone, but
when you
faster.
guys come out here, we're gonna have some pretty radical pit transportation. That, and then when the Rona is done and we can socialize on a proper race level of socializing again, we'll be cruising through the pits, blazing shots throughout the whole paddock, and then probably handing out shots. So, yeah, you
I was
guys have to
hoping
get
the
out
machine
Totes
gun
jelly.
was going to happen. Just kidding.
here. Which one?
Machine gun.
We can
Noise it
totally
was
do the
making.
machine gun.
Shots. Making lots of shots. BB gun?
Making lots of a shot
Cannon.
gun, some sort of device that will launch shots to people in a crowd. Socially
oh, you need
Oh.
those little test tube shots like they have at strip clubs.
You are a genius, Chris.
In Las Vegas, you should be able to find the wholesale
Yeah.
supplier.
I'm wearing
exactly.
my,
I could
my
totally like
Gritty
find that on
and
Facebook
Philly
Marketplace for a
Fanatic.
nightclub that went out of business. So
Oh, is that Gritty Claws?
No,
No.
it's
No,
Gritty and the
it's-
Philly
it's-
Fanatic with a hot dog gun and a t-shirt
Got it.
cannon.
Oh, yes. That's the
Uh,
I mean, I
From-
think
from
you can
Pulp-
make shots happen from a
the
shot.
Philly
Pulp Fiction.
Philly fiction.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
Uh,
Now
my
I believe
students.
this segues. No.
Oh wait, before we
never
go to the segue, sorry, you go to the segue 1 second. My students
It's
have
not
been
a segue anymore, but yeah, okay.
my students have been begging for me to build a t-shirt cannon for many years. And I have downloaded the plans off the internet like 27 times.
And you included in your
What are we doing
spreadsheet
this
of
weekend?
What Jeff did today? No, this is work. This is work time.
Work
What
related.
Jeff did today. I built a t-shirt.
I built
cannon.
a t-shirt cannon for
Yes.
university
it is kind
weekend.
of your work.
Yeah.
Just
You amateurs. No.
Bring the week.
Jeff
Bring the-
spent several hours researching a sideline engineering project to help distribute and popularize several on-base campus social activities, which brought increased morale and awareness to more than a dozen causes.
Very
Yes.
close. Marine,
That.
It's
the
like
military says
I do.
morale.
It's like I do that kind of thing for
we
a living.
say school spirit. So
I'd
just
say engagement.
swap out morale for school spirit and
See,
engagement.
business and engagement, military is morale, Jeff is school spirit.
That's right.
And
There we
but
go.
at the same time, but because every one of your organizations that you work with, usually they've got their charity that they support too. So you're bringing awareness to causes while you're doing school spirit.
Do you know how many T-shirts I give out a year?
All of them.
News and notes time.
So we go from the Terry X, segueing nicely into the Morgan three-wheeler, which is
One less wheel.
One less wheel. In 1911, the original was an attempt to dodge the British vehicle taxes, and it ran until 1952. But the current model was a concept that came about in 2009 and started production in 2012. Since then, over 2,500 of those units are zipping around. Alex Roy set a transcontinental record in one, but the S&S 2-liter V-twin powered 3-liter is coming to an end to make way for an electric successor.
That's cool.
But because before they go, because they're Morgan, as Matt Petrini tells us over at The Drive, Morgan is offering just 33 examples of the three-wheeler P101s, which are celebratory special editions featuring several updated parts. These three-wheelers will be available in 5 Art Pack variants, and they start at 45,000 pounds, or in the U.S., about $60,000. Link to that is in our show notes.
For 60 grand, I want a fourth wheel.
How about you could have an NSX for 60 grand or a 993, Jeff?
I'm just saying, have you ever
993.
seen a Morgan three-wheeler? These
Yeah.
are freaking wine barrels with bicycle
With a
wheels.
Harley motor in the front. with
Exactly.
bicycle wheels. Yeah.
Sounds
We
great.
saw
Well,
one
a
at-
reliable Harley motor, but yeah.
Yeah,
at
but then you can say
Monticello.
you have a Morgan though.
So you can go buy a Morgan plus 4 for way less than 60 grand. Or hell,
I'm
a
not-
plus
I'm not
8.
con-
I don't
I'm
know
not
about
You know,
condoning
you could
it.
probably-
I'm just saying.
You can
old
probably
one.
get you can
Not
probably
a
get an
new
Arrow 8.
No,
Like you-
Right.
Arrowweight's
We're moving on.
But used now? All right, fine.
Go ahead, Chrissy.
So excited about this story. Makes me very happy. It makes my father very happy. For the first time ever, Mazda is now at the top of the Consumer Reports ownership reliability survey. What?
I've known
Consumer
this for
Reports-
years.
Well, whatever. Consumer
It just
Reports
happened
credits
this year, so whatever.
Mazda's credits Mazda's top ranking, their conservative approach to powertrain and infotainment technologies from the article on CNET. By avoiding big unproven changes year over year, Mazda has continued to hone its dependability, and it uses many of its technologies and components across the stable of vehicles. Those reliability improvements, blah blah blah, shared across the brand. Mazda is great, and we knew that a long time ago. Hence, the one that I own for $249,550 something,
About that.
500. Yeah,
Here's
been
what I can't understand.
super reliable.
Why does any fool buy a Nissan Rogue or a
Oh.
Chevy Equinox
Oh,
Hello.
over
How
a
about-
CX-5? For
I'll
example.
give you the Chevy Equinox. It's a
No.
terrible car, but I'll give it to
No.
you. But
No,
the
not even.
Rogue, the Rogue is like
the Rogue is
oh,
terrible.
The worst
also-
part of the
and the-
Sentra, and
and
then
the-
jack it up.
Right, and the 2020 Escape. Oh, well, let's make a car worse. It's
Yeah.
uglier now. It has a 3-cylinder engine, and the interior quality went down. Right? Why don't people buy CX-5s? Like my mom has a 17 CX-5. The thing is amazing. I've driven it more than I expected to, and it's totally like a nice place to be.
My
Like,
wife
like
loved her
it's a great
CX-5
car.
until she wrecked it.
yeah, and my mom has the new version. It's according to your wife, which
Yeah.
and I've bent the thing through off ramps and went, that's okay. All right, right, Jeff.
So I have put, I'm adding here 225 plus 175, so 300. Is it 400,000? No, not 400,000. It's pretty close.
225 and 175 is 400. Yes.
Okay, 400,000. I have put four.
Everyone, mathematicians.
Thank you. Thank you. Bill and all the other engine nerds out there are correcting my math. So
I was like, well, if it's X factorial to the rear.
I put 400,000 miles on the cheapest Mazda available at the time. A 2012 Protege 5 went 225,000 miles on the stock clutch with zero problems, except when the motor
Intake
mount,
boot.
the motor mount was broken and it ripped the intake boot.
Yeah.
All right. I have a Mazda 3 now, a 2012, because I crashed it into an old lady in a Civic who stopped on a road when I wasn't expecting
Wait,
it.
what year was the Protege? You said 2012 Protege.
2002.
Okay,
02.
got it. Yep.
So I got 2012 Mazda 3, and I have 175,000 miles on it on the stock clutch. And I had 225 on the last one with the stock clutch. And
you're not nice.
I
You're
don't
not nice
change
to
the
your-
oil at a reasonable frequency. I don't wash it. I don't do anything to it. And it runs
it's an
like a
You're
top.
killing
experiment.
me.
No,
It runs
Jeff
like a
is
top.
Jeff
do you
is doing
Blackstone
an
it? Do you
he's doing
Blackstone
no.
your...
No.
Jeff is doing an
Don't
experiment
wanna
into
know.
neglect-based automotive ownership.
And I beat the living shit out of it constantly.
Yes.
And it
Yes,
constantly returns. Everything works on it perfectly except the air conditioning.
And it's your fault,
It's my
I'm
fault.
sure, somehow.
Sure.
And it smells like soup.
No, I cleaned it.
Probably smells like trash
A
now,
little.
but okay.
Well,
It would
always
have.
smells like trash.
It's back to its regular. He cleaned the soup up. It's back to its regular trash. I feel
Yeah.
like they said there's an air cleaner of an actual garbage can hanging from
A
the roof.
can of Diet Coke exploded in the back seat because of the
Hey,
Rona. And
yes.
Josh got in the other day and he's like, "Why is it all sticky back here?"
Get used to it, teenager. Anyway,
Have you been in your dad's car lately?
Oh, it's
also
disgusting.
sticky.
no,
Oh.
you
Right?
won't even go near it.
Oh,
The Wakeman
Poor
Manor
Josh.
fountain
Josh
of
has
trash.
got so much to talk to his therapist about.
Oh my, right?
in years
If he
to
doesn't
come.
have one
All right,
now, he
let's-
should.
I
start.
love Mazda.
Me too.
Everyone
Fine.
should. They're great cars. Hey, so to the surprise of no one, but disappointed of many, Lemons has canceled their final two events of the season. Jeff, where's the trombone? Oh, I know you're blowing your nose. That's not a trombone. It's close
Dust
enough.
is killing me.
It's almost as close.
It's locked.
Yep.
You've got to move this. Jeff is also conducting experiments in neglect-based trombone ownership. How do you break a
All right,
trombone?
close enough.
God.
Yeah, exactly.
The little locking
Anyway.
thing was on.
Chief Perp J. Lamb released a statement yesterday via email that said California and Georgia had largely avoided the worst to date spike hitting most of the country, but in a really short time that has changed. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
terrible
Wear
now.
your mask, people.
Seriously, between record new case numbers in both states and the very likely effects of Thanksgiving travel and gatherings, because people are just not stopping going to Thanksgiving. Hey, 1 year, you can get away with it. We just no longer think we can hold these two races responsibly. Fair thing, Jay. Cool. And we're as bummed as anyone else, but safety is still paramount. It's bad enough that half y'all are driving Pintos and rusted out pieces of crap. So yeah, we got to do this. Races in both events were sent individual emails for getting a refund or transfer. And like the rest of the world now, we do believe maybe the end is in sight. Although realistically, it's probably going to take all of 2021 into 2022 for everyone to get the necessary vaccines that are, going to stop all this. But
And
anyway,
I'm not going to get into everyone politics.
Yeah.
But the chances of America like actually getting the vaccine, because all those anti-vaxxers out there, and they don't trust the government enough to like count votes, but they're going to.
They can die. That's fine. I don't care.
Just take it, everybody.
No, they can die. Hey, but you know what? For yourself, for your friends, your family, we're going to keep it on track to the checker when that comes along. This crowd has shown huge patience and perspective over this really terrible year. We all appreciate it. Best regards and better times, Jay Lamb. So this does settle the standings for the year, unfortunately. So those dirty, cheating, blocking BMW driving bastards, Ginger Race Team, are going to win National
those
Anthem
honkies.
Champions. Yeah, they suck. They took South and Gulf region. West was hella shitty. Mid was to save the Tatas. 3 p.m. took the East and second overall. National Drivers Championship went to
Pretty
Matt,
fun.
quote, Chris Faridis, because most good racing drivers are named Chris, because 4 others of the top 6 drivers in the national championship are also named Chris. So we're going to start calling Matt Chris now.
So Chris Abbott, Chris Wentel, whatever.
Christian Ward.
Christian Ward.
Chris Blizzard, Chris Champion.
Oh, Chris Champion. Okay, that's the one I was missing.
Yeah.
In my head.
And then Anton. It's basically 4 Chris's, Matt/Chris, and Anton. That's your top 6 national champions.
So out of all the people that we know, the most likely person to win next year is like Chris Egan.
Sure.
Chris see
I just think it's
Matora.
funny is that I'm on a first name basis with all 6 of the time.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know if that's good or bad. Whatever.
I do find what's interesting is the top 10. I mean, we know them. They'd probably all help us out.
There's like one guy I
ratings.
don't know, but
Yeah. But but like these are all people that be like, oh no, dude, yeah, let me come over and help you fix a car, this sort of thing. If I'd known it would have been like this close, because I was pretty convinced that Matt had it stitched up because he was going to run Sonoma and Road Atlanta. I might not have stopped after that tire injury at New Hampshire. I would have squished it just a little closer.
Yeah, with
But
that suspension
he
being
finished
pushed back an
second.
entire inch and a half on the left hand side. Yeah, that
all I had
wouldn't
to
have
do
gone
was-
so well,
all I
buddy.
had to do was finish, man. Top 10. I would have gotten.
I don't think you would have gotten an hour and a half out of it.
No.
Fair enough.
This
Fact
reminds
that
me
car
of
is now
the.
permanently retired as a result. Should say something about how difficult that damage was.
All right. Well, then that just makes me feel worse. But honestly, we were making that joke at New Hampshire, and it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Matt's awesome.
Yeah, good for Matt. Pantsless Matt.
Next time you see Matt, raise your White Claw.
That's right. I'm going to sniff through this.
You know what? None of this all would have happened this year if y'all hadn't started drinking those safety beers.
That's right. So I'm going to ask Chris Abbott, because everyone else is on the internet and has probably seen this already.
Yeah.
Chris Abbott, have you seen the hurricane cage?
No.
Okay, scroll down and look
This
at
is a
some of the-
social media thing because I don't see that shit.
No,
unless
it
you
is
guys
not a
posted
social. It posted basically this guy was building a Nissan Micra to be his toy street track car. He's in the UK and he built
This seems like a terrible idea.
Well, he built a cage, and it was
I
a
see it.
quote full FIA spec cage, and then he decided between the down bars to put 10 extra reinforcement bars spiraling out to resemble a hurricane with an eye in the middle. So they don't meet in the middle in one joint; they meet like in like a little circle.
Like
thing.
it's off center to the left, so there's no solid load path.
No.
Any of this.
No. So the internet lost it, and every single internet forum in the world is like yelling, "That's not safe! Why did you add weight? You suck at welding!"
Well, I mean,
and of course, John
the welding
Pagel
looks
is never
okay.
going to approve this.
yeah, the welding looks okay,
Yeah, I thought so too.
and yeah, the weight is there, sure, but like, think about force vectors. I guess with 10 of them, you're probably fine. Especially a Nissan Micra, like there's not much force. But even if you roll the thing, like what's it gonna do?
Yeah, like what's the weight? 10 pounds.
Right.
Uh
But that's just like, why bother?
yeah, it's a silly little thing. So
like cut the middle of the circle out and make like a wine bottle holder out of it or something, because
Yeah,
that's
sure.
the most useful thing you can do with that good quality welding.
So the Drive interviewed the builder, and he said, quote, "There is no real purpose to it really other than to test myself and push the boundaries of whatever is possible," said this guy Warburton. He remains totally unfazed by the comments and suggesting that the cage is unsafe. He said before making that spiral, the cage was fully FIA spec, 6-point roll cage. All the spiral is extra reinforcement, which is allowed. And the whole thing is notched so it's tight and would easily hold without any welding. And fully welded, it's immensely strong. I have no worries in the world. Basically, he said, this is art, people. It's not really designed to make anything.
Here's the thing. I'll give him that it's art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool looking.
And this is
Why bother?
This is
Like, seriously, why bother?
Because he was learning to weld and he wanted to make art.
Well, you can make a
and
fun
the-
little
he's
welding
probably-
thing in your garage.
He's probably bored because of the Rona, and we've all adopted some
Yeah.
pretty silly projects during the
Make
Rona.
something cool and give it to your mother-in-law.
Like I made arrow stuff, right? Yeah, seriously. Chrissy made this cool like bird thing out of pliers and knives and stuff. It was great.
And I made your mom a thing out of the
Yeah, I made your mom a
was a-
thing.
It was a crank
You're
pulley.
I thought you were
dictating-
starting some sort
No,
of
it was
insult
a
battle.
crank pulley out of a Honda, like a timing belt crank pulley out
with
of a
spoons
Civic because
around
we had
it
extra.
and made it a flower.
Yeah, it
You're
was great.
you're dictating someone's expression based on your impression of their art.
I don't
He
have
gets to do
any
it. He
problem with the
didn't hurt
art.
anybody.
The art is very nice. It's
He's
lovely.
saying don't weld it to your race car.
Yeah.
Why not? Screw it. Let him take the weight penalty. Who cares?
what's
It's
the
his
point?
car.
Hey,
He-
it's a
anybody.
Micra. It's front
It's not
drive.
like
It needs
there's
weight in the back
spikes.
anyway. Have a nice
It's not
time.
like it's not like there's spikes that are going to go flying into somebody else.
He should put something cool in the middle, though.
Yes, like a
he
bug
should.
or a boat, a little boat, like
like a resin lens or something. That would be fun.
No, I'm thinking a marital aid from the back, or from
Nice.
the front. Yeah.
Upcoming races. Is there anything coming up? I don't even know.
No.
Perhaps you should read those notes you were talking about earlier.
It's competitive eating weekend, so there's nothing really coming up.
Yep. Eat the bird.
Yeah.
Or the ham, if you're Aaron.
Who has anything left? WRL has a race left.
Yeah, that's all on there is placeholder. Yeah, WRL's got their championship coming up.
Levens is done.
Champ Car's got two more events.
Let's assume that those might even go forward because who knows? We got a couple weeks.
It's true.
And the COVID's getting bad now. Like,
Yeah.
no,
And
not just getting bad. It's bad. It's worse than it's ever been. So,
but let's talk about some recent results.
Recent results.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, AER was at NJMP Thunderbolt, which is the non-dong track.
Yep.
14 hours in one day. Why not? First was Random Vandals, probably in a BMW. 6 lap back was Tyler and Trevor with SJS in their, probably a Porsche. And 6 lap back from them was Air Cool, which probably a Porsche, but probably not.
Spell that, because that's cool.
AERKUHL.
Air
You're
Cool.
trying
You're
too
trying
hard.
too
It's
hard.
probably BMW.
Or that could be the heating and air conditioning company that they pay for their racing with, and then by putting their company name on the side of the car, it's a tax write-off.
Well, I have to assume that
Good for them.
the air part is for AER.
Yeah.
Like the
Oh,
series.
yeah.
I
Totally.
just think they're trying too hard. The 2020 Supra that ran that everyone
I'm sorry,
said,
it's a 2021. I mistyped that.
oh, 2021, great. Basically the brand ass new Supra that everyone said crap can car my ass was 30th. Right behind them in 31st was the 1989 911 SC. The AER took the time to point out that Zach Speed Racing won their class for the championship. That was the 1989 11 SC.
No.
What?
Zach Speed's a completely different team.
Oh, and separately. That's it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe they're not the AER Cool, which if you're gonna have a 911 SC, that's the one that's Air Cool, whatever. It's a Beetle. The key to this recognition apparently is they're a 2-man team for Zach Speed, and they do all their own pit stops and get them under 3 minutes with only 2 guys.
That's pretty
So-
impressive.
That's amazing.
Well, you know what? But AER is okay with if you fueling with a guy in the car. So one guy gets out, starts fueling, the other guy gets in, belts himself in. Anyway.
Yeah, but somebody's got to hold the
No.
fire extinguisher.
That doesn't make any. Yeah, they can't do it that way.
Oh, okay, you're right.
2-man
Wow.
team.
Good for you guys. Actually, that's solid. Cars
Not
always
bad.
prepped and then run the clean, which is key. So, all right, that's better than I expected. Hell, we don't do that, but our fuel cells pain in the ass to fill.
Right? They must have an easy fill. All right.
Well,
Lucky
it's in the front because it's a Porsche, so you just pop the front.
It's still a lot. It's still a lot to do.
Yeah.
Lucky Dog 2020 season ender, 1,000 miles to Thunderhill Championship at Thunderhill Raceway Park was it this weekend. Kathy did get us to the entry list. There were 116 cars, which is fantastic.
That's probably a record for Lucky
That's a
Dog.
lot.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. First was U-Boot Ren Works, just over a minute over Legacy Racing. Number 2 over both 2 laps over Rocket Bunny with an I, who finished 3rd, and that's a wrap over their 2020 season. And Laguna Seca Racing for January sold out in less than 8 minutes, which is no surprise because that's what it usually does. And their Sonoma event had 7 openings as of Monday, so sign up if you want to go.
Means by now, probably too late, friends.
Probably.
Dang old popular things tend to sell out. Listener feedback time.
Popular things, Lucky Ducks should be a popular thing, really. They're great. Anyway, on the YouTube, some viewers took exception to our assertion that you cannot survive the winter on alcoholism alone. Yeah, challenge accepted, apparently.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not a challenge, guys.
Right.
Relax a little.
James said, hey, if we had not just got under a new race car product, I would consider that challenge accepted because I believe I can. And while AJ added, I don't know, it's worked okay for me since March. You know what? I'm going to start buying Diageo stock now.
And I wanted to do this. We get it. I know that my alcohol consumption has increased, but at the flip side, so is my fitness over the Rona. And
Oh, those claws.
It's all the claws. But we've all been in isolation for going on many, many months now. And the thing that they're talking about on the news, one of the keys to the spike and the rise is we have, pandemic exhaustion. We're just tired of hearing about it. And a lot of our friends have actually taken this very seriously. You guys were talking about that earlier with the house remodeling project. And it's the holidays. So you combine isolation, alcoholism, and the holidays, and you are looking at a recipe for disaster. So if you've got a buddy who maybe you haven't heard from a while, or every one of their social media posts there's a drink in the background, a Zoom call, a FaceTime, a text, a good old-fashioned phone call, reach out, look after your friends. And if you're hurting, reach out and ask for some help. There's any number of organizations, and sometimes it's literally just the simplest thing of an email, a heartfelt private message, Instagram, however you guys communicate, but reach out, look after your friends. But if you want to maintain your social distancing and find a like-minded group of people who still probably drink too much, but we're social about it, and we don't want you living in isolation, I think a great thing to do is go ahead and jump into that iRacing, which...
Sorry, everyone. My
is in
green
green
in the background asking me things.
Yeah, the young one was there.
Is it time for me?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Woo! Please.
Lemons is back. Lemons iRacing. Woo, we're excited. For some reason, I don't know why, they invited us back for commentary again. This past Sunday, we were at
no one else will do it.
Probably for free, at least. This past Sunday, we were at the Circuit Gilles Venue for a Fundoro. That's a 2-hour race. It felt like homecoming. All the regular crowd was there. The booth, they were having a good time. Lady A, Stunt Granny, all the fun people in the chat were having a good time. So we were in the booth commenting. Matt Murphy, who we don't really know, we
do. He's one of the Midwest guys. We've run against him. I talked to Eric to make sure he wasn't mad at us. Yeah.
So Matt Guitar Murphy, as we now call him because we love the Blues Brothers movie, he absolutely crushed it. He was winning by too much, so of course we black flagged him for 2 minutes so that way Santiago could catch up. But then he just blew Santiago away and ended up winning by like 90 seconds. So wow, that was pretty cool. We had a fun time when we went to Black and White, and we have a new sponsor.
Hilarious.
Camel cigarettes, the best cigarettes for your pregnant women and children.
Yeah.
That was filters.
Now with filters. Make sure you don't get the cancer. And I don't know where Mental's wife found it, but there's a picture of. It's not a sexual product. It's a lamp, and it looks like our SM shifter and or what we throw at each other. Yeah, and so it's all down to Mental Ward's new internet provider, Cox Gigablast.
Which you got to sample during my intro.
Right? It's really quality. I mean, no, it's not. No. Where's the make the go button now?
That's right. We're glad to have Lemons iRacing back.
Yes, we are. So next week, Sunday, November 29th, after you're full of turkey and booze and you just your liver needs a break or something, we're going to have trash racing, which is fun cars with damage turned off, plus the always entertaining, no pedal, no wheel sprint at Charlotte Roval. If you have a sim setup, or in case of no wheel, no pedal, means the control of the car. Check out isuckatracing.com. Link in our notes. If you don't, then find 24 Hours of Lemons on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, all of that good SM stuff. Grab your favorite beverage and tune into the broadcast chat with us during the show. And the fun part, show starts at 8:30 p.m. Eastern and 5:30 on the West Coast. Also, side note, F1 race at Bahrain this weekend, so always check out that. We watch it on ESPN. There's plenty of practice. Jeff, you don't even have to care about it because it will be running at our house all the time. Always a good time. See who wins.
Absolutely. And the remainder of the fourth season is going to take, this is of Lemons iRacing, is going to take us through the holidays as well as just past the end of the calendar year. We know we're going to need a break from all of the reality in the world. So let's do some of this instead. Even if you're not going to race it, just watch. December 6th, Fundura, Mid-Ohio, followed the next week by the 13th by Trash Racing, Inappropriate Rallycross, Thunderdome, which is anything goes. Sunday before Christmas is Endurance at Sebring. And the Sunday after Trash Prince at New Hampshire with a TBD at Irwindale. And Irwindale is probably going to be a figure 8, let's be honest. That's usually what goes on in Irwindale. Much fun. It is hilarious. And I love the when they do the camera shot of right above the center of the X.
You just see them go.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Because we all just spend the whole broadcast going, that was close. Oh God.
Yep. That's
so
good.
bad.
And the new year, we've got Endurance at Monza Oval on January 3rd, and Monza Oval is epic. So hopefully they put Lotus 49s in that because it's just fun to watch the suspension move on those. It's like a wings flapping at a bird. And the season ender is January 10th at the Turlet Bowl, which is trash racing at the Chili Bowl. So lots of silly fun, which is why else are you doing this? You're not going to do anything else with your iRacing. Have silly fun with your friends. And you know what's another great way to have silly fun with your friends?
The E1R race every Monday night. Now, this past weekend, we did the open wheel at Summit Point. Which one of the aliens won? I know it was.
Who knows? One of them.
It was Santiago and Tyler.
Jay or Santiago or Nate or whatever.
One of them. Yeah. And, but they ran away. And this week, even though Lemons isn't going to Sonoma, we're going to Sonoma. Don't know what we'll race. It'll probably be something terrible. There'll be probably some 87s. I'm going to start whining again about having my Mercedes AMG. So maybe we'll get the GT3 cars. If you've got a suggestion, get a hold of us on any of our social media. You can get a hold of us with the password, and I have now fixed the Discord link. So the link is in the show notes, and it is a permanent link to our Discord. And if you want to be like Hamza, don't even come race. Just sign into the Discord and watch this nonsense go on. Put on your.
I like when he turns on he gets in the car and then chooses not to race. He's parks the race car.
Literally,
where does he park it?
I got to get a beer. Hold on a second.
He actually pulled off the side of the road because he had to go get another beer.
On the track.
Yeah. It was off.
Not even in a pit. It wasn't in the pit though.
No. He had to pee in a bush. It was great. Whenever he doesn't update his iRacing, he just gets on the Discord and whines about the updates going on there. Put on your PG-13 earmuffs on that one. And we're kicking around the idea of tomorrow, as you're listening to this, doing an E1R race. So keep an eye on our social media. If we got one that we come up with, we'll post it on all the social medias, and you guys are welcome to join us tomorrow while you're full of turkey. A little bit of, what's the sleep drug in turkey?
Tryptophan.
So you got a belly full of tryptophan.
I think that's an old wives' tale.
I don't think you.
Perfect time to strap into a race car.
Mostly it's the same thing you feel after a big lunch when you go back to work. You're like, oh, this spread cheese. Yeah.
Fact. So if you've got ideas for us doing Thanksgiving race, or you're just interested, keep an eye on our social media. We'll probably throw down on something ridiculous.
Nice.
So who's never full of tryptophan?
I was going to say, do you know who's going to probably
especially
be
not this year? Oh.
Going to be probably at your house on Thanksgiving?
Nope. Zooming it.
Being COVID safe, yo.
Wow.
Yep.
And that is heartbreaking. And this is, as soon as Jeff said shit, my dad stopped listening. So I'm good with saying this. Look, I love my family. I'll be honest. This whole COVID thing about not having to go there and spend Thanksgiving, I am so relaxed. I am just in a much better mood.
And Rika's like, hell, man, I'm going to get some turkey this year.
Exactly. Yeah. The dogs are all like, this is going to be great. You guys are just going to get them to eat and lay around all day. So.
Raise your hand if you got invited to an inappropriately sized Thanksgiving dinner.
At our own damn house. Yeah. We have a 23-pound turkey.
The farm had big turkeys.
We pre-ordered it and they gave us an extra big one. So, and by the way, if you've never spatchcocked a turkey, which is not a dirty word, look it up. Cook it that way.
Randy Bish put that on his
and he knows some food, my friend.
Yeah, that guy knows how to eat.
Yeah. It'll cook
that with love
in half the time or less. and it's
Do we want to
delicious.
talk about our Thanksgiving plans now or at the end of the show?
Let's go to the end of the show because that is the topic.
Good. Let's go.
All right. Well, this is the annual Thanksgiving episode, and I'm going to do my best to not sneeze on the microphone. This is our annual episode where the
Did you
resident.
take your singular tonight?
I did not. I took the whatever.
I think we know why Jen just came in the background wearing a mask.
No,
and
she
left.
did because she's cutting the carpet right now. So anyway, this is the annual episode where our resident in touch with his feelings, Gen X or mental, makes us talk about our feelings and crap.
I have a philosophy degree. Now y'all have to deal with it.
Tell me about your feelings, Jeff. I don't like that.
Shake
But
your
in
money maker,
reality,
not
this
your
hobby-
What
philosophy
is it you
degree.
do for a living, Jeff?
I have a sign on my wall. It says, "Oh wait, I don't want to say that."
Wait for it.
I've seen the signs in your wall. Most of them are inappropriate to say here. I'm
I'm waiting.
It says, "Life's hard. Wear a helmet. Get the fuck out of my office."
Nice.
But the students can't.
Says
see
the most caring person we know.
it. Yeah, but
I don't know
anyway,
about that.
In reality,
Yeah.
this hobby brings out a lot of joy, satisfaction, and on a level everybody gets to experience. We all love it. We love that it is the everyman sport. That's why we call ourselves Everyone Racers. So it's great for us to acknowledge that, especially in the trying times, that there's lots of things to be thankful for, not just turkey and not having to go to our parents' house. So we're going to break it down into some areas, and we're going to go around the table, and we're going to start with racing. People, someone else do it so I can blow my nose. Chris,
All
you
right.
start.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the Lemon staff because this year they went to some pretty great lengths to make sure some races happen. Like for example, Kim moved herself to Connecticut for 2 weeks before the race, lived in an Airbnb, and by the way, the last week of that had no power. She's basically living with an extension cord out of her minivan at best, the rental Grand Caravan, with nothing in the grocery stores because none of them had any power too. Like you go to any of them, know how much food they had?
Eat.
None.
Nope, threw all that out.
Right. So
Because I had
none of
completely
that
forgotten about that hurricane when I went shopping for a meal that night, and I sent you guys pictures. I'm like, "What the heck happened?" And you're like, "Oh, that hurricane." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I should listen to the news."
yeah. So I appreciate, and it's not just that they all had to go through a series of pretty significant hoops to be able to make these races happen this year. So, some of them were harder than others. Like, hey, Kim had to live in Connecticut with no power, but Eric had to, I had to vacation in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan in August for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Sure, he
That's
brought
tough,
that
Eric.
girlfriend or whatever he calls her.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And the kid.
Who is
this
moving
is
to
terrible.
Chicago?
Oh, she
Yes.
is. Good for her.
We saw that.
Fantastic. Anyway,
It's been a while since
that's-
we've had Root on the show. Sorry.
we're going to fix that in another few weeks.
Okay.
He's already in. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
coming.
Yep. So anyway, that's who I'm thankful for racing people this year so far.
That's
Throw
a
it
good
to
one.
somebody.
Do you want to go, Jeff?
I will. This year, the people was a bit down a little. Not that the people were down, but we hung out with less people. We were down a car, so we didn't get to have the usual extended cast and crew. We hung out with less people in the paddock thanks to the COVID. But I did get to meet the Bish and his vacuum for the first time in real world. And, most of all, and Chrissy knows, I got a little weepy at one of our races about this. Probably the most thankful thing I'm for over the year is the return of the work burglar Aaron to the track. He had missed almost exactly a year just about to fight his new lifelong foe leukemia. And he came back at the same race that we happened to win. So I want him to keep coming back. That's what I'm probably the biggest thing that I'm thankful for. Like, I love all the people we race with, and I'm going to talk about other people later, but I'm just going to go with that.
That one snuck up on me. I was happy about it when he got cleared and we posted a couple of things, but Sunday morning I got to start with him. He was in the Crescent, I was in the Civic, and just the gravity of that. I've had more people in my life battle cancer than I think I probably should have. And it's not always a happy ending. And just, I wasn't looking for that moment. And I looked over, I'm like, that's friggin' Aaron in the car. Damn, this is cool. It was just, yeah.
And it was touch and go. I mean, not like his life. I mean, I'm sure he was very, very, very sick. I don't want to downplay that, but Monday, we weren't sure whether he was going to race or not.
Yeah.
And Tuesday it was like, oh, got my test, waiting for the results, so it was last minute that he got cleared, and I was glad to have him.
And I think you touched on, Jeff, a year before, we weren't even sure we were going to have Aaron a year later.
Yeah.
So racing is like his blood. So I think he was like, if I'm going to be alive, I'm going to make this happen. I think
he was excited like a 14-year-old with a corner bag. I mean, he was extra excited.
Yes. Totes.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, y'all got any more of them races?
Y'all got any more races going on? Yeah.
Yep.
Chrissy, tell us who you're thankful for.
Oh, okay. So I'm second Chris's sentiment on the lemon staff who sacrificed more, I think, than we realized to make these races happen, especially this year. But I'm going to thank our families for letting us go race. So this is an unnecessary risk that we've been taking to go to be around so many people for a prolonged amount of time. We've been lucky to stay healthy, and they deserve some credit. So I want to make sure that they understand our passion. They want us to be around and do what we want to do, but that includes being around people that are potentially unsafe. So that's my thanks.
That's a good one.
Yeah, definitely.
I was, so, we'd been in the same orbit for a while, but I finally got to meet some new folks this year. Corey Dickman. And Corey and I have just clicked, actually went racing, met him at Barber and then went racing with him. So the Ranwood Park crew, he's got a whole associates out there, some, the ugly brown Camaro crew. And now, Faritas is out there with that whole, the Sorry for Party West Coast crowd, and just being able, nothing is the same as Three Pedal Mafia. And I was missing some of my Three Pedal Mafia events, but they've got the same approach of a family type atmosphere. And, we had our meals together, and it was a good time. And that was a lot. It's nice to have these additional kind of friends. One of the curses of getting older is you can either have, new friends or good friends, but you can't have any old good friends. And I feel like if I'd met these guys 5 years ago, they'd be old good friends.
It's almost like Sorry for Three Pedal random
exactly
racing party.
And I feel, with everything that is actually the bad things that have happened this year, there have been some good things. And I feel like there's just going to be this really great opportunity to get you guys out here on the West Coast. And then we're going to be out there on the East Coast, and just expanding just the opportunities to race. And also I got to spend a disproportionate amount of time with Lisa Sims, one of those lemon staffers that you mentioned that are making sacrifices to make these races happen. Up at the Ridge, she brought her mom, and her mom's a nurse, so she's like helping give everybody in a mask and make all the rules, and that whole thing. That was just expanding my orbit of really great people.
Nice. Lisa occasionally brings a track cat too, which is always awesome.
Yes.
So
places.
Mental, you are the MC of this evening. You call the shots.
I threw these out there just to try and get you guys to. I didn't know if you guys would rearrange stuff like that.
This is a mental idea show, so everyone know that going in. But like a lot of mental idea show, I go in and going, really, and then I come out going, oh, that was pretty good.
That was nice. Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of us got to experience some new places.
Yeah, I'll start with that one. This year we went to VIR for the first time. And it is effing amazing as a track. You need to go. Everything you've heard, it is true.
Yeah.
Go.
Except for where it is in the freaking United States.
Yeah, it's the middle of nowhere. But that's why you can have a racetrack there.
Sure.
Go to VIR. It's amazing. I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed it.
I'll second that. I think it's also a great track. It was a great experience to go there. But we had a run at Pitt early in the pandemic. That was awesome. So I have to give that track a shout out.
Yeah, I think VIR, if it's not my favorite East Coast track now, it is in my top 3 favorite East Coast tracks.
Nice.
That's
agreed.
I mean,
totally
I've run
agreed.
27 tracks in the country. It's that good.
Worth it.
And so, because I did VIR years ago, but you guys understand when I go on my little thing about there's just a feel to these classic tracks that have survived. And I think it's the feel that makes them classic tracks that survive. But Mid-Ohio, Road Atlanta.
It's the feel of there are spots where I'm totally might die if I do this wrong. Yeah.
That wasn't built for safety. That was built so that the cows could still graze over there.
There's
Right,
plenty
yeah,
of runoff.
There is a lot of runoff.
There's
in
a
VIR.
lot
There
of
is, but-
runoff.
When I was going 155 down the straight at VAR in that student's Z06, I was like,
Oh,
what?
you might
It
die
doesn't
there.
matter. It doesn't matter what happens. We would
Yeah.
just sail over
No,
anything
you're right.
that's in front of us
No,
because
no,
we're
you're
going
right.
we're going beyond takeoff speed for most medium-sized aircraft.
Actually,
Okay.
that is actually
Yeah,
beyond the
right?
takeoff speed for an E3. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It is some HPD
Anyway,
one
let's keep
student.
going.
Yeah, okay.
Right. He was in two. He was in two.
So
Oh, is he a two?
Um,
Okay.
I actually really enjoyed, from a social distance, again, expanded that orbit, but meeting all the Pacific Northwest teams, particularly the Ranger Road guys, who are the Pacific Northwest equivalent to the Uncle Sam's Misguided Children. And they've got this just great group of, differently abled veterans, and they build special cars for them, and just that whole area. And Chris told me, try and get the Mercedes on the track, And I tried, and I didn't, but it would being able to go up there, that the whole thing, but being able to go back to Gingerman for the first time in 6 years, especially after the repave, that was a hoot. Gingerman is another one of those, not on the same scale as VIR or Pit Race or any of those. It's
Or the
very
Ridge,
much
or
the Ridge.
Laguna,
Actually,
or
I would put it on. I would put it there with
or
the Ridge
like
because
we
it's got
I can
that.
keep.
No, I would
it's
give
flat.
it the Ridge because it's got that nice kind of family feel to it. You feel like
But
you're.
did you
running it-
drive the Ridge ever? Like even pace laps?
But I just say the whole feel of the track, not just the actual racing surface, but just the way the whole thing. Gingerman is a very comfortable kind of place, and it's a fun track. It really is.
It's very
that was a-
Midwest. You're like, oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, what they call an elevation change,
It's like a Jersey elevation change. You went up like 2
Right,
feet.
it would be
It's
a
like,
speed bump at Road Atlanta.
I had chili last night. That's my elevation
So
change.
is that an elevation change? No, that's the crown of the road.
Yeah.
If you could say
Yeah.
bless your heart in Midwestern, that's what you'd say about. Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, I like that.
That's Southern, right? That's nice.
It's
I
a
guess
Midwest version of bless your heart, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
right?
I'll talk quickly about because I didn't go anywhere. Nowhere new for me. I will say that I had a really good weekend at Pittsburgh, and I think because we didn't have any right seat instruction, it was early in the pandemic, and my car was hella slow. I don't know if I lost horsepower or I'm just like my skills have
maybe so.
improved or not. I don't know what
All
it
the
is.
above, I think.
All the above.
actually.
Mhm, I agree.
or you've picked up skills and now you're noticing how slow the car is.
Yeah,
No,
probably-
I think the
no,
car is still
I think
slow.
the car got slower.
don't
I
think so.
really got to feel
Poor
the
car.
pavement at Pittsburgh a little differently. I got to experience a track that I've been on plenty of times, but it was dry, and I was like less paying attention to what I was doing and more paying attention to how the car and the pavement kind of work together and all the little undulations and all the little things like that. So I'm going to say that I got a new appreciation for Pittsburgh. Race.
It's good.
Not the town, the racetrack.
Never go anywhere near the town.
I love the town.
There's
I
no
lived there for
town
2 years.
near. Well,
No, I'm
Pittsburgh
just
is
saying
still
that we
quite a
never
ways
go-
away.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's
we-
like
we
an
never
hour,
go
hour and a
there.
half.
I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying we don't go there. So it'd be great or something.
They put French fries on their salad. You'd hate the place.
It sounds delicious.
It
So does
is.
Sheets, though. You can do that at
There's,
Sheets.
there's stairs everywhere.
There are. You can take
Stairs.
the incline.
Yeah, whatever. And then
Yes.
everything's salty.
All right, moving on.
Mental, next.
So on the concept of experiences, and I do feel like as an organization, as the four of us, and really even somewhat the greater Three Pedal family, not only have we embraced the concept of these new experiences, we are now actively seeking them out. Like last year, you guys went to Laguna and just, these different organizations and going to VIR, just opening the aperture on that one. And I love that this whole concept has enabled all of us to do new and weird things. For me, it was obviously I got to do the 2 24-hour races. That was stupid and hysterical, and it was a list of characters that supported me and helped me do that. I can't thank everyone that was involved in that enough. That was just awesome. And then also I believe I had the fastest car at Gingerman. I just wasn't the fastest driver. Melvin Woods, who is right now driving across country in his RV, deciding where him and his wife want to retire. He's 41, by the way.
Nice.
He's towing his 6 liter. Yeah, he's towing his 6 liter powered E36 behind his RV, and that thing. And I'm signed up to drive it at Barber, where it is going to just be me and Chris Faridas are going to be driving that thing at Barber. It is going to be insane. And it just firmly put me in the LS all the things camp. I am so excited. I am more excited about the Z than I was before I got into that car. I thought the Z is going to be awesome.
The now, 6 liter versus the
we don't have a built. We have a built 6 liter. We have a stock
4.8. But it's coming. But it's coming. It doesn't matter. Once we get the wiring, the suspension all sorted out.
Too much fuel burn. We're having to balance.
I don't care. I will do all of the refueling if I get to drive the 6 liter Z. Yeah.
This is why mental is all enthusiasm, not looking at the big picture.
More speed, more faster. That was insane.
Y'all get any more of them 6 liters?
Seriously, and the same thing with Corey's the Ramwood Park Omega. Oh my God! Oh, all of the power! Screw you, Miata! Yeah, it's great.
We wanted to handle a little bit.
Well then.
And we want to be able to run for more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just going to go next.
Go ahead.
All right, racing experiences this year. We effing won.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
After several years of trying. But also in the most spectacular fashion possible.
Totally spectacular.
And I wouldn't change a minute of the heart-wrenching, ugly crying.
Right, you're ugly crying.
Terribleness of it. Nope, mine's in my helmet. And you know what? It was
mine's
amazing.
On the sidewalk.
It's with these other 3 people right here. And
thanks, Bobbin, for the great pictures of the ugly cry.
I want those on coffee mugs for everyone.
No, stop!
Our next T-shirt.
I'm the one who has the ugly cry. Stop it! I don't
you
want
were the only one ugly crying.
Only
because
you
can
catch me.
See, right?
Yeah.
It's an
helmet.
ugly. Yeah, it was an ugly cry, but it was a beautiful expression.
You hear me in the helmet by the time I'm at turn 1.
How many
I'm cutting onions in here. There's onions in the car. Definitely onions.
We watch this video more than
And
we
dust.
should. We do this
Anyway,
because Chris insists.
That's still the whole year. I have not experienced that kind of emotional ups and downs throughout the whole season that I did during your stint.
Oh, it was the worst.
Well,
no,
if
yours
we-
was just
if
as
we-
bad.
if we'd been up by 5 laps, it would have been an entirely different story than what actually happened.
Yep.
And
Chrissy would have
know
packed
what we're
the
talking
trailer.
about,
We'd be
Right.
ready to go. Yeah.
and like, oh hey,
Let's do this.
isn't that
Yeah,
nice?
great.
Isn't that nice?
Whee!
As opposed to standing at the wall, going like biting your fingernails off.
Person that was over there.
Holy F! Whoever
Wait,
comes over the hill, and as I was going like, whatever, just watch the damn video. I can't even describe it. Okay,
It's awesome.
Well, and then
it was awesome.
yeah.
Next.
When
Who's next?
Chrissy and Jeff looked at me like, "Why is Mental screaming again?" You know.
As he was listening to the radio.
Well, but I stopped him because I was like, no, stuff's happening over
And
there
Jeff,
that we can't see.
Jeff cleaned that one spot in the grill really well. So
Actually, I was standing there like this, trying to fuel the RV. Like,
all right,
what's happening?
Chrissy or Jeff, come on.
I was like,
Keep it going.
clean
Chrissy,
the
go
garage.
next.
She's like,
Chrissy, go.
Go
watching
next.
race monitor. I'm watching race monitor. I'm gonna say the same thing. Duh, a win. It was great. It was whatever. It was. Say it was great. It was heart wrenching, and I was ready to throw up. And like at some point, Jeff and I sit in a chair, and I was like, I'm gonna pass out. Like and he's just like, I know. Like we're just so like Oh, it was really hard on us. Anyway, I had some recovery from burnout. That was great. And I have to say the 24-hour CMP, my first 24, was great to not race. That's the way to go. Jeff, that's the way to go.
Gotta race.
Okay,
Gotta race.
Fine.
Well, as long as you go out at night.
I gotta do it at least once.
Okay, fine.
I want to do it at night.
Experiencing racing 24 hours is amazing. I say that after, it was in September and it was awful then, and I hated it, but now it's great because I can think about it. But and of course
you did an incredible job of making hash brown sausage sandwiches at 3 a.m., which are the greatest thing possible.
I'm going to say that I took over Pitmaster as I did a great job at Pitmaster. I think Jackie did also a great job at Pitmaster, but she was also dealing with her actual pit.
Oh, she was trying to wrangle actual race teams and like fuel and stuff. And you're like, I'm just making sausages. And
our car is broken. We're just eating.
I mean, sure. I fed everybody and I told people to go to bed. So I did a good job, but she was master of the universe. And I was like queen of the universe or something. Yeah. So anyway, I had a great
Jackie
time.
Owned that race. Totally owned that
right.
race.
I had a great time. So go once, go accrue, do something, watch the cars.
Once is enough.
Once is enough, and I haven't had it yet, so that's why.
Chris said, "Go watch the cars." I was like, "I'm ready to go to bed." He's like, "Just go out there and watch, and it's awesome." So that's my experience.
Huh? Or don't be like Jim and drive 12 hours
the whole
down,
race.
And then
Jim will go with me because he missed it, even though he was there.
Jim again. He's repeatedly said he was actually kind of grateful for that.
He was the most well-rested driver at a 24-hour race ever who didn't drive. Anyway.
Next,
who's last? Jeff?
I'm going to go next.
Jeff.
The win was great, and I'm going to still talk about it, but I really want to talk about the people who helped us and the people who were biting their nails right along with us who are not on our team. And those that are 3 Pedal Mafia adjacent. The fact that one of the teams was not being as sportsmanlike really made the fact that most of the paddock was really there with us, like all that sweeter. So like just all the other teams were like, holy shit, 3 Pedal Mafia, you guys deserve this. What do you mean you've never won? Oh my gosh, I know how hard you've been trying.
This is the other side of all the karma.
Yeah, and so many people were like, "Who's getting in your way? I'll take care of that." No. So the village at the win was probably the greatest experience. Shout out to the village.
Not the one in Florida.
No,
we don't really like them.
No, not those conference.
The show, things at the show we weren't expecting, because we've said this before. We started this 3 years ago. It was really, my job was not allowing me to race as much as I
can't believe it was that long ago. Seriously,
more than 3 years. And I was missing my friends, and so a drunken conversation spurned another drunken conversation, and then the show came in there.
Way.
And yeah, and where it was the most unsettling was when we were all at Barber. And Jeff went to the driver's meeting and asked a legitimate question. And somebody goes, "I know that voice." And we're like, oh God, people are listening. And so that's what I think of, like things that the show has brought us. And among that is that orbit of like, last year it was Donnie. We got to meet, Florida man Donnie, and he has been an amazing friend. I would argue that this year, Alex has been just awesome to have around, and Randy Bish, and I feel bad saying
stop
names.
There's so many others that we have met
because
this year.
There's so many others that I'm just not getting. Yeah. And so if I'm not saying your name, I'm totally sorry, but just understand we value you. But,
yeah, I'm going to jump right in because I have the same thing. The circle that we got closer with the Lemons Racing broadcasting, Ryan, Beardridge, Sims, Schlavine, Yoder, but not just those in the booth. I want to extend the shout out to those in the chat, Lady A, Stunt Granny, Santiago, Sims, Levinson, all those people that you mentioned, plus just getting hanging out with them, even if it's by internet, even if it's by chat, and pounding F on the keyboard when Bish's libido into the stratosphere, and even people I know in real life like Uncle Dave and Lamino and them.
Yeah,
that's it. That's my show, people.
So this is not what I thought you were asking about. So I'm just gonna go with my original.
I like
answer.
your answer though, honey.
Yeah, your answer is great.
Totally.
So I went through all of the
is better.
shows that we had all last year. So I thought you were looking for the shows that we've had in the past and over the year. So we're just talking just this year, which I was really reminiscing over all of our shows this year, which is kind of fun. Realizing what was pre-COVID and where I was pre-COVID. So I was doing a lot of the shows on the road and plugging into my iPad from a hotel, and I was kind of all over the place.
Running up your data in one night. Yeah.
Oh, darn it. I know that happened. Sorry. So anyway,
I was
looking
12-year-old. You'll never have data again.
I don't have a 12-year-old.
Daddy, have you seen this TikTok?
No, you're like, yeah, I've seen that TikTok.
Yeah.
Anyway,
is it butt shaking? Then no, I haven't seen it.
Anyway, so I went through this, the people that we've had on our show. That's the route that I went with this. So I really love the show with Hamza. I don't even know if he actually listens to the actual show, but he's also just one of our great friends. And the show that we had him on was
excellent.
It was excellent, but it was also, he thinks in such a different way than we do. So having him on to think about the way that we race, the way that we deal with people was amazing. So having him on our show was awesome. We'll have to do it again, because he's had other show ideas because he's like that. And so anyway, made a lot of sense. Also, we had a great show with Spank. I have to tell our listeners that Spank is not like that. Spank is it
recorded weird. They missed most of the jokes anyway.
Right, but I heard him and he's not like that. He's not into drugs at all. And he's a very nice man. So I enjoyed the show, enjoyed talking to him. And if you only heard the after show, you would understand how that went because he's just a normal dude.
Spank won't even take a drink, let alone anything. He's just he's not straight edge. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
He said that his Google search is going to be a mess for like ever because he just had to Google how to do all the things that he was talking about. Anyway,
how to build a bong out of a apple.
Literally, that's what he said. So anyway,
bending a spoon over a candle.
It was really it was fun to have him on. Fun to have him, reminisce about the times we've had to get together. So that's where I'm going with the show and people.
I'm solidly with Chrissy. We've spent some good trying times with Spank. When he was at his wit's end trying to get some cars ready, and all around, like
not everybody sees.
No,
I think
it's when you go through a challenging time with another person, you get closer, right? And we have been through a number of those times with Spank. Some of them had ended in moderate failure. Some of them had ended in incredible victory. Like Spank and I Ironmanned an Austin effing America to 12th overall at the Ridge, right? Just back and forth. Whenever it ran out of gas, we'd come in and switch. That's it. And then we've also had some pretty epic failures of like trying to bring the Toyo Hog before it was ready. Like we showed up, he'd been working for like 36 hours straight. That wasn't going to happen. But
his wife looked at me or looked at, it was one of those, Chris is like, Jeff, this is like when Jen talks to you or Jen talks to Chris and says, don't call me. Chris is the only person allowed to call me. This is what Meg Spangler, Spank's wife says, Chris, you have
is
to
this going to happen?
You have to talk him out of this.
Right.
That was the night before. That was like Thursday night, I think, when we should have been teching on Friday. Anyway.
Spank is a wonderful, wonderful human being, and I'm thrilled to know him, and I'm thrilled to be able to call him a friend. And it was great to have him on the show, and he was exactly who he is at Lemons on our show. He picked a character, and he owned his character
to the character.
He owned it 100%.
Like when we had him on as GD Yo-Man, when we had on Johan as GD Yo-Man. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Except
You're right.
Spank owns it even more than Yo-Man did on the show. Like, Yo-Man, like, he broke enough to be like Dr. Samantha a little bit. Like, you can tell, like, right? But Spank was never like,
Never
the
broke.
English teacher that he is, right? No, never broke. He's that good. But again, thrilled to call him a friend. Also thrilled to have Hamza now as like a real solid part of 3 p.m.
Oh yeah. He is
Oh, so much.
Kuba Gaba, he is one of us now.
And you know what? At Monticello, how many years ago was Monticello?
Oh.
I got a text from Spank and said, "Hey, I had the best arrive and drive ever. His name is Hamza Linsky. He lives in Maryland. He's not far from you. You guys should connect with him."
What if he was at Monticello or not?
I don't know. Either way,
We didn't see anybody
Spank
at
was
Monticello, right? Because
we
we
love
were
Hamza.
We were in parking lot QQ.
Yeah.
right. I was gonna say Itchy
Right.
5, right? It was
We
the
love Hamza.
worst.
We love Spank. They're the best people we had in the show this year. Sorry to everyone else, but that's a hard bar to beat.
Totes.
Cool.
Hamza and I actually have like our it's a special type of irreverence that he and I only share with each other because we worry about offending everybody. And so
I was so excited to introduce you two when you didn't know each other. I was like,
Well,
man, these guys got
you
to
two
meet.
need
These guys
to
got to
hang.
meet. Yeah.
You're gonna be
we had
besties.
we had met years ago at Barber in 2014 when I came back from the Middle East, and it was just, but not being introduced the way you did it, it was that standard stupid macho military, okay, yeah, who knows more secrets, and who's done cooler stuff, both of which Hamza, by the way, just unconditional.
Yeah, you
I
didn't
would
do
have
crap. You sat in the back of the
stop.
plane.
I would have said
Right.
both of you can't play that game. That's not fair.
But it's not hatred. It's just there's just that is a cultural thing of how you size people up. But then when we got
Posturing?
a bit, it is.
Okay.
And when we got formally introduced, it was nice because it kind of immediately circumvents all of that normal crap. And yeah, he and I, we've had, retirement conversations and career conversations and just these great, and Chrissy, you said it, he doesn't think anyone else. And I love having access to that perspective on not just racing, on a myriad of life topics, just being able to, and not to say that he and I always get along. We've locked horns on a couple of issues, but even afterwards, he always says, "Man, I really appreciate your perspective on things," which is exactly the same way I feel about him. Cause it's always something I would have never thought of.
Agreed.
All right. Let's keep moving.
Okay.
Next.
Well, we're still
Mental.
talking about this. Yes. I would say that we can all also agree that Brian, aka Bearded Sim Racer, and Sean with Nemesis Labs,
Yeah.
a skill set that we previously didn't understand, didn't know existed, and they are both masters of their craft. And yeah, the whole community with the Lemons iRacing, some of which are now joining us on E1R races, which is awesome. And yeah, there are just some great people that throw things up in a chat that just, I have to turn my microphone off and hold my stomach. I'm laughing so hard. It's just been,
doesn't happen very often because we hear you when you turn the microphone off. But anyway,
yeah, but it happens enough.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
but,
What's what's next?
well, so I went through this. Basically, I just said people, places, and things, and I held them under larger topics of, the racing, the show, places. And I'm going to jump on this one because you guys said, well, you lockdown, we went nowhere. And yeah, mostly I didn't go anywhere new, but we were this close. We were this close, listeners, to press paddock passes.
And Mental's holding
You're
his
funny.
hands about 2 feet apart. 2 feet,
Nah,
maybe
man.
3 feet.
I
It's as big as the Skype
I mean, we're
window goes.
going. We're next
We
time
were-
they have. We're going.
Yeah.
2022.
22. We were through the initial filter of, are you a
No.
real journalist? We were through that initial filter. I had gotten permission to create a journalist,
Like a profile.
profile on their "We'll consider you for paddock passes."
So we
Okay.
almost fooled them.
This is to the 24 hours of Le Mans, you should say, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Le Mans.
Le
Le
Mans.
Mans.
Like the big
France.
one.
Yeah.
Circuit de South.
Because we'd already
Le
bought
Mans.
our tickets, and incidentally, if you're considering going to this race, get a hold of Mary Harris. She has a wonderful guy in England who is
Well,
the
don't
most
yet.
patient.
We're not ready yet. But in
No.
2022.
But if you're thinking, in
22.
2022, this guy.
Which actually, you know
got
what?
it
You
on
have to get
lockdown.
a hold of Mary by summer 21.
Yeah.
Like,
to get
so-
before
Paul and racing
Labor
tickets.
Day
Yeah.
is what the answer is.
Yeah.
And,
And the guy was totally great. And really, he was very
Oh, he's so
gracious
great.
about refunds and this whole year. Like, okay, yeah, this is put his business in the toilet.
Yeah.
But, he was very gracious about it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
We're going.
All right, so I'm going to take over after this. Mental is totally effing right. Absolutely. We're gonna keep trying. 2022 is our next shot because 2021, like the vaccine's not going to be enough people by the summer of 21. Not going to happen for the world. Like
We already needed.
It only needs to
Time.
be like negative 275 degrees or something like that.
No, we know we need 10.
No, no.
It's going to be really easy to get to.
We also
We
need
only-
to book it.
No, we only need
At Labor
14
Day.
billion vaccines
You're
by
right,
then,
you're right.
and we're only going to be able to make 10 by then.
Well,
Anyway,
We also
Anyway.
needed to book it in Labor Day last year to go next year. So it's not going to
so
happen.
2022 is our target. So places from our show this year. My favorite place for this year, our house, because we didn't go anywhere for the show this year, and I'm sitting in my office where Chrissy and I spend most of our days. Which
Me
is actually
too.
bad.
Hey, you know where
That's
I
all-
went this year?
That's all I got. Chrissy,
you know where
what
the
do you
show
think?
went this year?
Where did the show go this year, Jeff?
The show went to YouTube.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. We started putting
YouTube.
up our shows on YouTube. I'm going to jump in here and say, hey,
No,
we started
great.
creating content and it's expanded our reach. And there's plenty of people out there, like my
Well,
brother,
we didn't-
who's like,
we
"Oh,
didn't
I don't
really
listen to
create content. We
podcasts."
just recorded it on Zoom instead
well,
of
but we did other
Skype, and-
content too.
we've like our Connecticut updates were hysterical.
Yeah. So
Thank
people
you,
who
guys.
don't actually like commute and don't listen to podcasts, they started
Who
listening to
commutes
us.
now?
I know. So it was really nice to hear from all of you people who are watching us on the Facebook world down there in the doodly doo. So keep talking to us. That was it. That's my place.
Yeah, realistically, we've probably put 18,000 miles on all of our cars this year
I know.
compared to the 20,000 miles that used to go on
The
Mazda.
Mazda. Yeah.
alone.
All right. Let's keep going.
Most of those are on the Mercedes on long trips or the Suburban on all
We
these
have-
damn towing trips. All right,
We have
what's
so
next?
much to talk about.
Mental.
Experiences.
So we're talking about
show experiences.
show experiences that are just experiences that the show has gotten, and this does get very hard to put into words, but in part of being on the show, getting to be the commentary on the iRacing, and then kind of almost being bought into the cool kids lunch table with the Lemons staff itself, having to judge that. It is nothing that I could specifically point to, but there's just been this greater sense of involvement in the racing community and people that I've met. And it has afforded me some opportunities. I feel like I'm almost ready to get back into the automotive journalism world on a part-time basis, just on what I want to do. Being able to do this remotely for the last couple of years has really lent itself to a bit of understanding of how we do it at work. When my job had to go virtual, I had insight, not brilliant insight, but just, no, if we do this, we do this. And there were some applications that folks weren't familiar with. And so I kind of got to feel smart, which is a rare thing for me, particularly at work. And I also feel like this is the experience of what we have done with this show. We connected with a lot of people that were locked at home and maybe didn't have an outlet for their passion, not just the racing, but like we talked about with the family and with their paddock people and their friends that they see four or five times a year, and being a part of at least a substitute with the YouTube, with the iRacing League, with our own iRacing League, being able to connect to these people and almost hear the tension leave their voice when you're talking to them, because now that they're it's not the same, but they have found another connection that drew them to the sport in the first place. And then it was denied to them for most of this year. Being able to be a part of their sanity, it's very humbling.
Yeah. I'm going to jump in here and say, because it's kind of related. Chris is going to bring it up, but going to SEMA actually happened after Thanksgiving last year. And just like Mental, it was kind of fun to pretend to be real journalists. You know, like there was a certain
we're real.
We are real, but that was like the first.
My name is
time...
Mr. Burns.
That was the first time that I think we really, I don't want to say got anything out of the show because we get a ton of stuff out of it, but that was the first time.
The first time we got anything out of the show was when Kathy let us race at Laguna.
Yeah,
let's give
that was pretty
super props
fantastic.
to Kathy. You should all race with Laguna with Lucky Dog because Lucky Dog is great.
Yes, Lucky Dog is awesome. But that was the first time I thought people like treated us like professionalism, and we, like Chrissy and I, like went to the education sessions and really took serious, like, let's really try and ramp up our social media, and we ended up being pretty successful at that. So like you know, racing at Laguna was awesome, but like I felt like we actually like did real work and really got to meet people and did do really like journalisty stuff at SEMA.
Truth.
And I want to go again. I want to go to PRI instead next year when the Rona's gone.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Agreed.
Done. Let's go.
SEMA was awesome. Old school SEMA, like in person.
A
totally interesting experience that I'm super thrilled we got to have. And it's not just because Mental and I stayed up in the hot tub drinking tequila until he was giving me a kidney. Next.
Y'all were drunk, yo.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're fine.
All right. So I said, as my experience, I said E1R races, met a lot of fun people. We already talked about this, but I put that in my experiences category.
No, finish the statement because you've got a unique point that we all missed.
Well, sure, but many of them are so much better than we are, and they practice a lot and they do all these awesome things, but some of them are trying to help us learn. So we're learning, we're getting better. Some of us are getting better. I always just love when Jeff shows up to our races because I always feel better. Go ahead, Chris.
We have a huge variety of talent. We have everyone from the aliens to Hamza, who's like, hey, I'm just drinking beer here. Why are you hitting me? As he is just being a meandering, wandering chicane. You know, like we've got it all, but everyone just laughs.
Yeah,
at those. Everyone laughs. Even the aliens are like, oh, whatever. Like, oh, I just got wiped out from behind by Lamino, who said surprise butt sex. Like when I was leading
on purpose.
But you know what? Right. But they just laugh at it because we're all having fun.
Yeah.
We're like not destructive, right? So it's not like demo derby, right? We're just like, we're trying.
Occasionally it's demo derby, but not far off.
It depends on what track, really. But go ahead.
Right, the whole point is nobody cares.
Okay.
Anyway, next, Mental. What's our category?
So outside of both the show and your racing, just your general life experiences this year, you know, there's a whole lot that we can focus on the negative in this world. And I feel like at this point, it's a conscious decision to try and find good. And it's there. The good is there. We're just so conditioned to not see it. And I would argue 2020 more than any other time in history. You know, there's so many great memes about, oh, great, what next? You know, like if the aliens show up to invade, they're going to be totally underwhelmed with our response. We go, yeah, whatever, go, yeah, enslave humanity. We got stuff we're dealing with, man. And
this is the time when Monolith shows up in Utah. No.
The Monolith that showed up in Utah. But there's, you know, outside of racing in
took me a minute.
There's been people, places.
Yes.
Yeah. There's been people, places, and experiences that we all got this year we'll go back all the way back to November. And I miss this, you know, because I also, thanks to Kathy, got to race at Laguna, which was a bucket list track, and thanks to Bill Fisher and all those guys. So that's where I'm coming from with this one. So outside of the racing, just your real life, what is some great people that you guys got this year?
It'll start us off.
All right. So I've known Sajid for years. We both started the Truth About Cars, and we've had Facebook conversations, but this year, judging down in Houston, not only did I just get to spend a lot of time with him, and as interesting as everyone thinks Sajid is, he's more interesting than that. And he took me and Chris Champion to his warehouse where he's got all of his bizarro old Lincolns and just these, like he's got a Buick Riviera 20th anniversary that he bought because it is every shade of brown, and it really is. There was chrome that they coated in brown on this anniversary car.
I like that Sajid wears a headdress to celebrate his Indian heritage. Yes.
But as he's going through like his motivation, me and my brother wanted this car. I wanted this car. I wanted that car. And a lot of it relates back to his childhood. And, his family is, they are the embodiment of the American dream. You come here, you go to school, you work hard, you're successful, and they are. And in showing us all of this, it was these glimpses into who he was as a person. And it was just that I walked out of there and it was just this really nice moment of connection that in a world where we're doing stuff on Zoom, we're not getting all the time. And me, Chris, and him, we all had our mask on, but he was showing us all these just amazing cars. And it wasn't just the cars, but it was a glimpse into how he thinks and why he values these things. And it was just this great connection. And I just walked out of there. I'd not slept great all weekend and I was exhausted, but we ended up staying there for hours afterwards because it was just so cool.
Awesome.
Cool. Go, Chrissy.
Oh, I was just going to say probably what most of us are going to say, but happy to spend COVID with family. So we were lucky to have family being in the same circle, air quotes circle. And also
geographically nearby too. But
quite. But close as we were talking about before, we were helping some close friends. So the fact that our close friends outside of racing are still healthy and doing as well as they can. Some of them have small children doing school, Zoom. Some of them are teachers trying to figure out how to teach over Zoom, kind of driving the whole family crazy. So, and as I think Wakeman family is doing. So, yeah. So it's nice to have everybody experiencing things as well as they can.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm right there. With the
go ahead, Jeff. No.
I'm fam too.
Chrissy and I don't go right back to back. So
smaller circle, but the wife and the kid and frustratingly doing math and all those other fun things and not leaving the house for a good large period of the time between March and August-ish.
Me here.
Yeah.
Jeff, I love the fact that you set up a tone for us at the start of all this of a daily theme and daily announcements, right? Like we don't have the Pledge of Allegiance, but we still actually, for the most part, have a daily theme.
Yeah, no,
I feel like you might want to just like quickly turn to see what is on our life over there.
It's not there yet, but it's all gone.
Well,
right now.
I mean,
it for next week. But anyway, I must just say that I'm thankful for that. Nobody in my small or larger circle of people that I know has had a significant COVID impact. And it's just everyone's taking the right choice, making the right choices, or just luck. But no one's had the significant COVID impact. The person I've noticed hurt the most in this last 9 months is Bruce because he broke his damn ankles because he's a fool.
Oh, I was going to do that shout out later.
Do it later anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
right.
Keep going. So outside of both racing and the show this year, places, mental. Start us off.
We live in a very divided nation, even now, but we live in a beautiful nation, and I have been blessed to see a lot more of it. And I pride myself on how much I've traveled in our country, but there were parts of this country I hadn't made it to. And behind the wheel of what I truly believe to be the greatest Grand Touring automobile ever made, I got to see.
You're damn right. It crosses continents.
That's not an opinion. That is a demonstrated fact.
I know. I've been there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah. And Chris, and for people who live out in the West, they're like, duh. There is a vastness out to this part of the country that you just don't quite understand.
This is for you.
You don't understand until you travel it, but it's worth traveling. It's worth. I've taken. I drove to Nebraska. I drove to Denver, or the High Plains. I drove up to the Ridge. I've driven to California a couple times now. A couple of weeks. I'm driving down to Arizona. So I've gotten to take in a lot of this great nation of ours. We live in a beautiful place.
Brought the damn right car at the damn right time, my friend.
Fact.
At a bargain price before the COVID prices went up.
I've got two guys in my office that both have a pull behind RVs. Bumper. Well, actually, one's a gooseneck, one's a bumper pull, and one has had his for 2 months. He sold it for more than he paid for it, and he just bought a new one because RVs are on the rise. Because
who knew? Invest in RVs.
People are starting to realize that this is a thing. You can still go out there and see part of this country, and I like that idea.
They can't see it in a huge blur the way you can.
But yeah, even if you find yourself going stir crazy, get in the car and just pick a state park, pick some place you haven't been and drive there and just breathe the air. Look at
if you can't breathe, unlike me, who's got a stuffed up nose.
Take your damn singular, bitch.
Yeah, we live in a beautiful country. That's
I can't tell it's bedtime.
I'm proud to be an American song because that's gonna bias people.
No.
That is a connotation these days. Anyway, Jeff, next.
The only place I've been is my house, so I'm glad the work is getting done. I guess I've done a lot of house repairs in the COVID time, so that's what I'm going to say.
I
like
the Porsche
some
cover. Improvements. You've made
I like the Porsche,
it's a ton of improvements.
Porsche thing over your hood or your right shoulder, as I see it. Yeah, that looks great. That one, yep. And I know you're making progress on the floor, and which is great.
Floor is almost done.
As you pull the carpet out, you go, "Oh my god, this is disgusting."
So disgusting.
That means you're doing well. Great.
No, but we also I fixed
fence,
the roof. I did the fence.
Moved the fence.
A lot of stuff.
Okay, Chrissy, places, happy.
Oh yes. So I, as we were talking about this earlier, Chris and I, hiking in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
We went on a fantastic trip. Wonderful weather, really freaking difficult, but it was so satisfying. It was lots of hurt feet and lots of hurt body parts and straight up and then straight down. But it was, Chris did a great job on picking our route and we rocked it. So yeah, that was an awesome trip.
Yeah, sure as hell was. For places, I'm going to say Cape Cod because, as always, my happy place is out on the boat at the house in Cape Cod because you just recharge there. And it's probably because I've been going there my entire life, but I don't take it for granted. Like it's wonderful.
All of you who don't live near a body of water, you don't understand.
Even if you live
Boat
somewhat close to one,
like,
you don't understand this particular place. Like y'all have been out boat there. It's a pretty
it's
nice
very nice.
place.
It's absolutely gorgeous. But I'm saying, somewhere out there, Soggy is getting out on Lake Erie and probably having a similar experience.
Sure. But having been in my entire life as this is my happy place, it makes it a little bit more special to continue to have that there.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna use it for as many years as I have, which those years are waning right now. So I'm gonna take advantage while I can. Okay, next, mental. What's our next category?
So experiences, just things you guys got to do, and if you want me to, while you guys are contemplating, I'll lead off, or otherwise
Go.
I see. All right. My experience is working with the staff at Lemons. I got to peek behind the curtain. Just the unbelievable lift that goes into putting on one of these events. It's
not the rideshare company.
Okay. No. Just the heavy work that makes this. And for those of you who may not know, take as hard as you think it is to put on a race and then amplify that times 10. And that's just how hard everyone, we'll say Lemons, but
we're extra moronic.
Every staff of everything,
we're in the second circle of hell or planetary rings or whatever you want to say.
Right.
That it's like we're right there.
Yes. And just seeing that Jay and Nick and Kim and Lisa and Eric and then there's the whole part-time cast of players that they'll pop in and help out and do all this other kind of stuff. I talked about it last week. Just listening to Dale and Ken and their vast.
Is it Dale's birthday today? I think it might be.
Oh well, you know what? Even if it isn't, happy birthday,
Dale.
Yeah, birthday.
Yeah,
Right.
you totally win.
By the way, I'm pretty sure Dale is 872 years old.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
but he looks good. Mike, who was working
when 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not.
How did I get
Mike,
on
who
a
is
Star Wars reference? Hi, Jen.
Yeah, he is the track manager at Autobahn, and he was helping us out at Houston, and he told us that the SCCA, and this is not a knock on the SCCA, they brought in 40 staffers to run an 80-car weekend. There were 102 cars.
Every other car gets a staff.
Yeah, exactly. There were 102 cars at Houston, and it was 6 of us.
6.
Well, because it's that many different people are bitching about the rules. I'm filing a protest about the brake rotors.
So across the board, all of them, Lucky, AER, Champ, all of those guys, they'll run 100+ weekend event with a staff of a dozen or less.
I don't think AER's ever had 100 cars, but sure, yeah, they don't. They definitely don't have 10 people either.
No, and it speaks volumes to.
And they've got Giant Dave, but I mean, he's 4 people on his own, but
he is, and then he's amplified by Mike Carr. So yeah, there's
true.
But I think it speaks to volumes to the caliber of people that can do these events and what they have to put up with, and getting to see the genuine, especially during a pandemic, the concern for their racers, the actual pain in some of their faces as they are weighing a moral decision is, am I doing the right thing by having all of these people together? Am I exposing them? And because they care, because, oh my God, I cannot be responsible for making someone sick or passing on a pandemic, but they're balancing it with what literally is the only normal social outlet for a lot of very intelligent people who have some kind of, oddball social things. And this is the only time that they get to interact like human beings. And so it's this huge Sophie's choice of, do I cancel this race or do I hold it? Because, this group of people over here, they're not going to talk to anyone else this whole year if I don't have one of these events. And just understanding the balance that they have on that one. There's a lot of care and concern. And this past weekend at Houston, or 2 weeks ago, there were 3 fires on the track, and watching just
hot.
How's that happen?
Yeah. Watching
everyone.
Yeah. Everyone, when you say, oh, hey, the car crash, the first words everybody's mouth, are they okay? When you say fire, everyone's like, oh God. And just the panic of, is this person going to be okay? Because fire's bad, folks. It's always bad. I have a whole new level of respect, and I had a high level of respect before, but just how much they care. And like you mentioned, you touched on it way back in the beginning when Kim went and lived in a garage with no power for 2 weeks.
On a van down by the river. Oh wait, It's a different story.
I think a van would have been an upgrade.
It's close enough, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
And I'm gonna add to this. This is my thing: is that most of the racers bought into this. Most of the racers were cool with this and understanding, like, this is hard. And that was good. And that was wonderful to see. And the second thing I'll say about experiences during this last time, not racing or team related, was driving anywhere in like April or March, right? I made it from our house to Jeff's house in the Mazda, leaving at 4:45 p.m. in under 1 hour.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
Driving through downtown Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I never got below 80 through downtown Philadelphia on snow tires, by the way, in a 247,000 mile Mazda 3. Right.
Not that bad.
It doesn't matter. No traffic at all.
Loud.
And then in May, we took the NSX to the shore when we're still like debatable if we should go, but we had the top off, and we get there, they're doing construction and getting ready for the season. We like the first traffic we've sat in months right when we
But
get there.
all of the guys were all like,
Oh yeah, like, oh yeah, look at that car, yo! And it's right.
I forgot about that.
I was like, hey dudes, what's up? I give them a
Hey.
thumbs up, and
And we were
nice.
going like really slow. It's one of those like, look at that car.
Like we're going
Hey.
1 mile an hour, like on and off the clutch. And we're like, yep, hi,
We're still here.
hello guys.
One of those
That's pretty
awkward waves of like,
how's it going?
yeah. Where'd you get
yeah.
it?
How's road work?
How's construction?
Yeah.
We literally did that.
Anyway, I will never forget driving through Philadelphia at 5:15 on a Tuesday, going to Jeff's house to pick up some parts and never getting below 80 in the Mazda.
I
Anyway.
love your experience. I have to say.
Next.
I'm going to say much about it because mine's quick. So there was a documentary that was filmed about lemons. And I got to
yeah.
see it, and finally, after years and years, not that it had anything to do with it, I just sat there on the camera. But
Thankfully, your nose didn't sound like
this
this.
is
when-
terrible. I can't breathe at all.
I
But we
mean-
got to see it, and someday the world will see it, and I got to show it to my family and friends. And
That was
I'm
a great
excited.
road trip too.
Yeah.
I got to watch that on the road trip and have a conversation about it. It was awesome.
Good. Can't wait.
Chrissy,
Chrissy.
Oh, I went experiences. I already talked about hiking, so that was my experience. So,
Where did you go hiking though?
New
New
Hampshire,
Hampshire.
White
Where? Like-
White Mountains. There's a bunch of them. So in the White Mountains, there's there's a lot of presidential trails. Chris just walked away. I don't know exactly what it was. We talked about it, I think, before. We went up a mountain, across a ridge, and then down some. That was dumb. I don't have it in front of me. I apologize.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot because like when you go back and listen to the show, you had it all mapped out, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
there's
And really
thousands of feet of elevation change.
Oh, absolutely. No, Chris did a really good job of mapping exactly where we went, and I apologize. This was a while ago. So yeah, it was great. We had a great time. That was my experience. So can we talk?
Sorry.
Oh, here he is.
I was
Here he
in
is.
the bathroom. I was listening to it all in my headphones. It's like, no, I know the answers, but I can't give it. We were in White Mountain National Forest. We started and went up Bond Cliff to Mount Bond to the kind of Garfield Range around there, and down through another valley and back there again. I don't have it in front of me.
See, you're up
Right?
and down. We went up.
Right.
We went a lot. We went down. It was
Okay.
great.
Which again, beautiful country, folks. Get out and see part of your country. Go find a state park
There you
near
go.
your house.
Just
The
go
White
walk.
Mountain National Forest is wonderful.
Amazing.
Just
Just-
go.
Pick up a map. Walk somewhere. There you go.
Seriously, if you listen to this show, you're used to sleeping on the ground anyway. Take a tent. You'll be
Oh,
fine.
yeah. So we went to Bond Cliff to
Oh.
Mount Bond. Then we also did a West Bond spur to hit West Bond the next morning. We stayed in the Geo shelter, or the actually overflow Geo shelter. After that, we went to the Geo spur, all above tree line to go to Mount Geo. We then followed way above tree line all the way to South Twin, and then went down an epic downhill ascent to the
Thankfully,
Galehead Hut. Right?
Downhill.
And then back up
Sure.
to the Galehead Mountain, and then worked our way down through the forest to stay at the 13 Falls campsite, which was lovely, and then worked our way down the Franconia Brook Trail back to the
Ooh.
car. Anyway, it was super hard the first day, which we got the hardest thing out of the way, and then hard again the second day, and the third day was mostly easy and downhill, but damn right, because we were spent. So
Cool.
all right,
There you go.
anyway,
Okay. I put this in blue, but let's talk about our Thanksgiving. What are we doing? What's going on?
I'm finishing the floor and cooking the smallest turkey for my wife and my son.
What is the smallest turkey?
We have a turkey breast, which is like
Oscar rotisserie
8
chicken.
or 9.
Holy
pounds.
crap! Are
Bone
you
in,
kidding?
not like a just.
Is this
it's-
turkey like?
Jeff, do you want some turkey this weekend for
No.
leftovers? Because
No, I'm gonna have
Like-
plenty.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Can we have turkey this weekend? Is what Chris
When
is
you're
asking.
here.
Yeah, we can
Yes.
have turkey. Absolutely.
Because guess how much?
I know. 23
No,
pounds or whatever you said.
You
You
already
told
heard.
us.
Oh.
You told us earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Fine.
I
It's a
know.
freaking big bird.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
a
we got a
good-looking
little.
bird.
It's not big bird, but it's.
And I'm smoking it. I'm not frying it this year.
Ooh, weird.
Yeah.
No?
All right. So
I
we are.
had smoked turkey one year. It was amazing.
Yeah.
That was you, not the turkey.
Ah.
We are spatchcocking our turkey as usual, by the way. And also, it's currently in a brine bucket outside. If you not spatchcock your turkey, basically you cut the backbone out of it and spread it out and put it down on the pan flat. It cooks in, not kidding, 1/3 the time. And
like 2
the
hours.
legs, which need more cooking to cook down the tendons and the tissue in the legs, get more heat because they're off the walls and the walls radiate to the legs, right? So if you do it this way, you end up with a more evenly cooked turkey that cooks in 1/3 the time. So just Google spatchcock turkey. There you go.
Amazing.
We also have it in an Alton Brown brine in a Home Depot bucket, and it just barely fit tonight because this is almost 23 damn pound turkey. Thanks, honey. So
First of all, the Home Depot bucket does not get used for anything other than the turkey.
No,
just saying.
This bucket
lives in the basement.
Only to brine the turkey once a year.
I want to be clear about this.
Honey, where's the turkey bucket?
Yeah, it's the
in the
only
basement.
orange bucket with the lid.
Oh, I found the chicken bucket. I found the tuna salad bucket.
Nope.
I can't
Don't have
find
any
the
of those.
turkey bucket.
No, or the trash bucket. No,
A
this is the turkey bucket.
That's gross. No matter what happens, that's disgusting.
This is just the turkey bucket.
In July.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Also, I went to the turkey farm. I ordered a lower
We went to
poundage.
Turkey Farm.
I ordered a lower poundage turkey, and then they gave me a bigger one, probably because everybody thought
ordered a small one.
right. Everybody
Yeah.
wants. They have more big
Well,
ones.
in July, when they're feeding the turkeys, they're like, "Oh, everything's going well." They didn't expect, well, everything's going to go to crap.
like the week of Thanksgiving.
And we're also super late to get there. Like they close at 5:00, and at 4:52, I'm doing ABS lockup coming up into the driveway.
It's right there. It's right there. It's right there.
Yep. Oh crap! Because the Mazda's on snow tires now. So,
Hey.
I've been
It's cool.
putting my snow tires on. Maybe I'll do that on tomorrow.
well, I mean, the Continental Extreme Contact Sports are probably not going to do any better in 37 degrees than the.
So do they
snow tires.
make the tires out of snow?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
Or
Yes, they do.
yeah. Okay. I don't understand.
Yes. Well, you have all seasons. No, they're probably worn off by now. But
Now they're Hoosiers, so it's cool.
he's got all those Continentals on the extra wheels we gave him. Now he gets.
I got to find a guy to
They're in the
repair that
shed.
one.
Now he fixed it like, well, which wheels do I use and which tires do I use? I have like 18 of them.
Chris Faridas is trying to talk me into a track day the day after Christmas at Laguna, and I'm immensely tempted. It'll be the 6'3"
Do
in the
it. Why
6'3"
not?
in the
Whoa!
yeah 6'3" in the vet. Yeah, I know.
You just got to get the right tires on it. With the Continentals, it's totally fine. The Michelins, it's just going to be all over the place. I mean,
Yeah, because
True.
I've
done both.
I engage traction control at least 4 times per commute, like on the way to work and on the way home from work.
Oh
Granted,
my God.
2 of those are on purpose, but it's not the point.
Yeah.
With
the Continentals, from a stop, you don't engage the traction control. You get just enough slip that it just goes. Like,
good to know. All right,
Yeah.
I'll have to do that.
But that was also 3 years ago.
All right. So what are the mentals doing at
So
Thanksgiving?
Vicky's a very aggressive couponer, and to do that, she, there's some families out there suffering, so she went and found a charitable organization, and so she bought Thanksgiving dinner for a single mother and her 4 kids, and did all that kind of stuff. And in getting all of that, because she handles all the coupons, our 13-pound turkey was free. So we got this
Nice.
basically rotisserie chicken sized turkey in our beer fridge by the pool that is thawing out, and we'll probably go into the oven tomorrow. And we have a lot of plans for this weekend. We are going to expand our flooring project, but
So did
tomorrow,
you put the turkey in the pool to thaw? No, near the pool.
Oh no.
it's in the hot tub.
We're gonna talk about this like soon.
It thaws fast there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Stop.
But we do have some housing projects or house projects we're going to work on this weekend, and none of that will be tomorrow. I will be adhered to my Thanksgiving tradition of eat too much, nap, wake up, eat too much, nap, eat too much, wake up,
Watch
nap.
football.
Cute.
I could care less about football, but Thanksgiving has always been my favorite holiday over Christmas, because Christmas is just about, companionship and family and socialization and food. And Christmas is all that, but now you have the pressure of having to buy crap. And Thanksgiving, that's why Halloween and Christmas always overshadow Thanksgiving. It's because there's no incentive to buy things, so the merchants don't push it.
Except for candy.
Thanksgiving is the biggest holiday. There's no candy on Thanksgiving, Jeff.
No, Halloween.
The rest of your race
which is why Halloween overshadows Thanksgiving.
The rest of your race teammates are going to be working on the damn race cars for next year.
Hell yeah.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Is awesome.
It's awesome.
And I hope to repay your efforts when you guys after the vaccine or whatever, when you guys make it out here to the West Coast.
Hey, if anybody wants to buy a Citroen SM, let us know.
Soon. It's
I have to send pictures to that guy.
Well, no,
for sale soon.
Friday. Jeff, are you coming Friday?
Yes, I might have to go pick up railing on Friday, so it might be a little later on Friday.
But then whenever you get here, we are going to the garage.
Yeah,
we're gonna pull the Citroen out with a truck.
Excited.
And we're gonna bring parts and tools and various things, and either the Citroen's gonna run.
No, it's gonna run.
Or it's not.
Or it's gonna
run. No, it's gonna run. It's gonna run. It's gonna run.
They're gonna run.
Carbureted. It'll run.
I mean, so we're gonna bring like a 2-liter bottle with a barbed hose in the neck to make it get some fuel. If the fuel pump doesn't work, we don't care.
It's gonna run.
Okay, it's gonna run.
No matter what we do, it's gonna run.
Watch our social media, because it's gonna be awesome.
Right, we're gonna post it all over the place.
And if not, we're gonna push it back in with a Suburban and shut it off and put the NSX in.
This feels like something maybe
F you.
after the show, like when Chrissy's got doesn't good safety tip.
Thank you, thank you, mental.
I don't feel strongly about this at all. Don't worry.
No. Well, we're gonna have turkey and stuff. Okay. Yes. Great. Let's do Justin.
No, we have to do the intro.
Oh.
Wait,
that's just lame. No,
let's do it in a round.
Now it's time for
just the tip.
Gosh, this is like the first time we've. It's like the first time we've done this. I like
165 episodes. We're here for you, friends.
Thanksgiving safety tips. Okay, I want everybody to weigh in on this, because we have to talk about safe turkey handling, right? Okay, so hopefully you're listening to this before Turkey Day, because we're going to talk about Turkey Day safety tips. Thaw your turkey in the fridge. Don't leave it on the counter. I hope nobody does that. Does somebody do that? Oh, I hope not.
There are definitely people that do, but
I know. Okay, so don't thaw it on the counter. They're really
You can leave it in the sink all day and rub it in the sink in any few spices.
No. Stop. That's not a thing. That's for chicken wings, and you might die. So don't do that. So turkeys are dirty. Don't wash them. That's just leave all the bacteria on them. Use a different.
You mean like not with soap?
I think you're not supposed to rinse them. No, don't wash them with soap either. That's disgusting.
Doesn't matter. You brine them anyway. They're in water.
Well, if you brine them, then you are. But use a different cutting board. So, meat goes on one cutting board. We have a red one that's just for meat. And then I actually said to Chris, what is it? Did you put meat on this? And he was like, no, that's preparation for what we're going to do to the turkey. Do not put stuff on the red cutting board. Figure out what your meat cutting board is and leave it that way. And also make sure you wash your hands well, and wash the surfaces that you've had the meat, blood, turkey grossness on. Make sure you wash that as well. Mental.
Those two are making jokes, but girl in my office this year has had both COVID and salmonella.
Ooh.
She was in the hospital for 3 days for COVID. She was in the hospital for a week and a half for salmonella. This is not a joke.
Get out. Okay, well, it's serious. Don't do it. And meat juice is disgusting. So just make sure you don't
get some paper towels ready. Even if you're almost out of paper towels, save a couple of them.
See that right there? That's a desk of somebody who teaches food safety. There ain't no messing around with nothing in my house.
seriously,
Not desk safety, obviously, because
we were
one
fixing the room today, so it's everything got thrown on the desk.
It's one it's one cross contamination.
Right, you're absolutely right.
You've just poisoned your whole family, and now they have to go to a hospital during a pandemic.
Yeah, no, that sucks.
Hospitals are closed now.
Salmonella. Guess what they're bringing home?
Right.
No, hospitals are closed.
So
like
gross.
if you get salmonella, you know what? You're just gonna puke it out, drink some Gatorade.
Stop.
You'll be all right.
Well, maybe, but it depends on how bad it is. So just
Your hospitals are closed.
don't mess with it anyway. So
Don't.
right. So let's talk about cooking your turkey well. First of all, don't put crap in your turkey anymore. Do people do that anymore? I hope not.
Nobody.
I hope not.
Don't stuff the bird.
Don't, because you're just putting all of that
You have to
gross
round
juice.
the bird. Like,
No, don't do it
Not even
around
that
your
either.
bird. Stick it in a freaking Pyrex.
Casserole
and just,
next to
right?
the bird. Yeah,
Thank you.
separate
Okay.
vessel.
Google
Yeah.
Alton Brown turkey stuffing, and you'll find something good.
Sure, but talking temperatures, I want to leave this to you guys. You were talking about temperatures. Make sure you're not overcooking. You have to be like, there's a temperature that the Google says you're supposed to do, but that's way high. So
I'll take this.
yes, please take.
Officially, the number is 165. So officially, we're going to say cook your turkey till it's 165. Unofficially, know that a turkey with solid thermal mass will continue cooking after it comes out of the 400-degree oven. So if you wait till it's 165 before you remove it,
It's a little offer.
it will be 175 or 180 by the
Yeah.
time you eat it, which means it's dry.
It's a little dry turkey there.
I like to take it out at 145 personally,
Tent it with a aluminum foil.
Hell
and
yes.
it will continue to cook as it sits on the counter as it cools off. Also, you don't want the entire thing to cook all the way through because you're going to have leftovers. So you want the outer parts to cook all the way through. You'll eat those. The leftovers may not be cooked 100%. You know what? It doesn't matter because you're going to reheat them. But the most important part is if you spatchcock the turkey too, the legs are what needs to be cooked to the most temperature because they have the tendons and the ligaments and things that need temperature to break down. So sometimes you actually might need to ice down the breast before you cook it, or even put some a tinfoil triangle over the breast to stop that from cooking as much because you want the legs to cook more than the breast. The breast is tender, requires lower
And all of
temperature.
those
The
things.
legs you want to actually get up above 165. So
Woot.
be
That's
careful.
why I like frying it. I haven't cooked a turkey in an oven in a very long time.
Yeah, and you also haven't exploded your house. So congratulations.
We're not even talking about frying. We can talk about frying if you
No,
want.
no.
to
Just
get
keep
some-
going.
Jeff,
This
what
show
is
is
the
long.
one most important tip to frying a turkey? Number one.
Thaw. No ice at all on that bird. It must be completely 100% thawed.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, that's enough about cooking turkeys. Be safe with your family. That's my last.
Great.
It's fine to have dinner over Zoom, as much as you want to have a traditional Thanksgiving, which we did as much as we wanted to. It sucks. All of this sucks. Remember that your circle, air quotes, your pack of whoever you are dealing with is larger than you think, because all of those people are dealing with other people, and your circle is going outward. So be careful. Wear a mask if you're going to be with people. Visit far away. Just be careful. Be safe. Think about others more than yourself. That's it.
Love is to say I care enough to say we shouldn't be together right now.
More than 15 minutes within 6 feet without masks, and you are officially a contact. Just think about what that dinner table looks like, everybody. Did I mention I'm a contact tracer now?
You think, would I bang this person unprotected? That's the question to ask.
This is terrible.
It's like your mother and aunt.
Ew, right? They're all like your family.
Cousins.
Yeah.
Stop
But
it.
it's the same kind of question, really. Like,
I'm going to play the music right
do
over
I know
Chris
where
so
they've
that,
been?
that we just don't want to hear the rest of that conversation.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us
Just
about
gonna-
our next show, Chris?
Oh, perfect. Hey, last week I was prepping for the car for next season in winter storage, but next week it's the same thing but different. Now it's about your gear and support equipment, because the car, we know it's only half of it at most. Really, the car is only a lame accoutrement to everything else that we do at these weekends. So pay attention, especially because Chrissy gets to talk about propane and propane accessories.
I'm excited by
I
that.
don't do that.
Well, there's a lot of safety about propane at the track, so it's important that people know that from a first-hand source.
Don't thaw your turkey. Oh no, it was a pig. That was a pig.
It was a pig in an enclosed trailer with the.
Four heaters pointing at it.
I was at 104 fever, and I was like, "That's unsafe."
Also, like even how to open your propane tank safely so it works.
Fine, we could talk about that all the
There
day.
you go.
I paused the music.
RV. Yeah.
I paused the music so I could ask Chrissy a question.
Oh,
Since
no.
you did a turkey safety thing this week, what is more dangerous? Thawing your turkey in the showers at New Hampshire or thawing your pig by propane in an enclosed trailer?
Yes.
I have no idea. I don't know. They're
Did you
both
measure the
insane.
internal temperatures of both while you were doing it?
No.
No.
Then we don't know, will we?
Did we die? No.
No.
But did you die?
But I'm about to die because my nose will not work. Thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Push the button there. I got to figure out how to do it when it comes up in a minute if you're watching on YouTube. Then, no matter how you watch us or listen to us, go to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hate us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com or text mental 484-243-0455. Have we gotten any texts?
Yeah, that was how Ron Harrington got into the iRace this week. Got into the Discord link and everything. Yeah, and
awesome.
And also had an extended conversation with one of our viewers from the Lemons iRacing commentary about life in Omaha.
Wow,
Great time.
That sounds great. Mental gets to talk to people really at length. Find us on Instagram or Twitter at everyone.racers. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the spatchcock skin up. Unless you're just making a turkey breast, then you just throw it all in the smoker, everybody.
I was wondering how you were going to land that one. That was well done.
I wasn't sure when I launched it. Thanks for coming, everybody. Eat a bird.
Be safe.